Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 35 of Passion Project, the speedrun and gaming variety show that encourages anyone and everyone in the speedrun and competitive gaming communities to showcase their passions in games. My name is Amber Cyper, and I will be your host tonight. And if you've got a passion project of your own, go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix, scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, and submit it to the show. Whether that's grinding speedruns, learning and routing new categories, racing through randomizers and bingos, or competing at a high level, or breathing new life into a game in unconventional ways, Passion Project is the best place on Twitch to show the world what you love most in speedrunning and gaming. So before we get started with the run that we have tonight, we have a few announcements, and first and foremost, Back to Black 2025, the upgrade to UBAF will be live February 6th through the 9th here on Games Done Quick's Twitch channel, benefiting Race Forward. Catch the action and support an incredible cause. Type !BTB in chat to see the event schedule, and if you want to find out more about the all-black speedrunning community, type !BAF. And also, if you'd like to support GDQ Hotfix, check out the 2024 Season 4 shirt at theyeti.com/GDQ. I'm showing it on screen right now. It is adorable. You should buy it. And speaking of Season 4, if you want to check out our Season 4 schedule, go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix and check out the schedule for an in-depth look at this week's runs. So, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. I can't speak tonight. The Any Percent run by Glubbers, done at AGDQ 2025, was an incredible showcase of how you can utilize the game's mechanics and some glitches to beat the game after completing just the first couple of dungeons. But what if you wanted to see the rest of the game? What if you wanted to see the game run without glitches? If you wanted to see that, on Passion Project, tonight I am joined by the current glitchless category world record holder TGH and his fantastic commentator Ice Blue, and they're going to show off exactly that. So thank you both for joining me tonight. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. You basically just took the you took the introductory words out of my mouth for this run. But yeah, I've been doing great. How about you, Ice?
Other than the fact that you're now in shambles, pretty good.
I'm now what?
You're in shambles.
I'm how do you figure that? What? I mean, I guess I'm always in shambles, but like, well, what's this? Why is this a special occasion?
Moving on anyway.
Hi,
I'm Ice Blue.
Do you know what shambles are?
Hi, I'm Ice Blue.
Neither do I.
I am the second place time on the leaderboard for this game.
All right, so, yeah, hi, I'm TGH, and this is The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. I think pretty much every main category has been shown on the GDQ stage at some point, or in a marathon at some point, except for this one. This is Glitchless's, I should say, marathon debut. So I'm happy to bring it to you, because I am here to basically sing this category's praises. This category, in my opinion, is the most fun category. Unfortunately, it's a little bit long, but it's still extremely, extremely good. Love this category because you get to see a lot of the in-depth movement tech that this category has to offer, that a lot of the other categories just basically skip the echoes that make them possible. So, here we go. I think I'm pretty much good to go. How about you, Ice?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
All right, feel free to count us in.
Okay. Count down from 3. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so, yeah, the very first thing I want to mention is this is being played in German. German is actually, to be honest with you, I should probably be playing in simplified Chinese, but that's fine. Doesn't really matter that much. The fastest category, or excuse me, the fastest language is either German or Chinese. We have no idea. It really doesn't matter what language you play in. But German has one fewer text box on every single waypoint you collect. And Chinese just kind of scrolls faster, but they probably even out, at least in this category and like the longer categories. Any percent, I think, is faster in Chinese, but it is what it is. It doesn't really matter that much. I'm also playing on the current patch. This is really the only category that can play on the current patch and get away with it. I think it is the fastest just because the null fight is a little bit faster. Link is a little bit more responsive in the final area of the game.
His skill issue level is a little bit less.
It's a little bit lower, yeah.
On 1.02 than it is on 1.00 and 1.01.
You'll see when we get there in about 3 hours. So yeah, we begin this game with a little bit of a section where you play as Link. This is the only section where we're going to be playing as Link. The rest of the game we play as Zelda after about 2.5 minutes or so. But we're approaching the Ganon fight right now. You might be asking, like, the Ganon fight, isn't that at the end? No, actually, it's at the beginning of this game. So Link basically, I guess, I don't know, like, wakes up in his bed from, I don't know, and realizes he has to go save Zelda, and Zelda is kidnapped already. Zelda is already kidnapped before the game even begins. So you're going to save her from Ganon, or what you believe is Ganon. It's not actually Ganon. It is an echo of Ganon that appeared from the void. So we're here to rescue Zelda with a bomb chew and an arrow. Or bombs and arrows. You don't use your sword at all in this fight. I'm going to throw 3 bombs up left, fire an arrow at them, they'll explode.
The great thing about this fight is that, like, the damage stacks from all those bombs.
Yeah.
And it just makes this fight very, very fast.
Very fast, yeah. Iframes basically don't exist in this game. Not even for you. Not for you or the enemies that you fight. And that can work to our advantage and also against us. So, here it works with us, though. Can work against us later. So yeah, pretty soon we're going to be starting the escape sequence with Zelda. Zelda's going to be running away from this void that's going to be basically swallowing everything whole. And then the game's going to begin, and then we're going to be thrust into a fairly long cutscene. By the way, I will say, since this run has a lot of downtime, I do have chat open. If anybody has any questions in chat, either I or Ice will be happy to answer them. I'll try my best to answer to the best of my ability. Questions about the run, about mechanics, about anything. Because, yeah, right now we're just kind of walking. We will be walking, picking up this cloak that Link left behind before during a cutscene that wasn't shown, that got skipped. You can skip
any walkers around?
Any walkers in chat?
Don't have any walkers, but do we have any Prime Gaming subs or any subbers or gift subbers? Because did you know that? I was gonna say like, you know, subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel. They do help support Games Done Quick Hotfix. So if you enjoy watching speedruns, do consider subscribing to the channel to get access to our emotes and chat with our other subscribers during our replays. Ice, what was your meme?
I was gonna say, we don't see the Prime Gaming thing until about 3.5 hours in.
All right, look.
We do eventually need Prime Energy to finish this run, so
we'll touch on that again, I guess, like later. So we'll ask for Prime Energy later.
Somebody asked, why does this Zelda look like candy? She was manufactured by Haribo, actually. I have nothing else to add.
So, how many people died in this escape during their first time with the game? I'm not afraid to admit it. I got stuck in a corner and died.
I mean, it's easy. It's easy when you don't know where you're going. It's easy when you don't know the layout. Generally, like, if you do know where you're going in that section, it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. Like, as long as you just move, as long as you keep moving and know where the tunnel goes, you're fine. You're perfectly fine.
Who was the one who had the glitch on this screen where it was all dark?
Oh, where this cutscene was all black?
Yeah,
That was Owen.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Very active community member and glitch hunter and modder as well. Owen, shout outs to Owen, had a they were in the process of making a cutscene-less, or not a cutscene-less, but a textless mod for this game, and at some point in development, they had this cutscene just all black, so like nothing in that cutscene showed up at all. It was just a black screen the whole time. But during the climax and the music, the logo just appears in the top left over a black screen, and it was great. Yeah, I don't even think it's 10 seconds. I don't even think it's 10 seconds at all. I think it's more like 5, like at most 5 seconds. Because, like, okay, so as far as the language goes, there was a comparison video that Myth197 put out. I think there's just like a comparison between a bunch of different languages. And that narrowed it down to simplified Chinese and German to be the fastest languages, because German, again, like I mentioned earlier, saves 1 text box per waypoint, and traditional Chinese just scrolls faster. Like it doesn't scroll faster, but you can skip it faster for whatever reason, whether it be loads or whatever, like text loading or whatever. So whether or not German or Chinese is faster depends on the balance between text that you have to skip and waypoints that you collect. This category...
Jay, you just talked over the best sound effect in the entire game.
Oh, don't worry, we'll hear it again. We'll hear it a couple times. Shout out to General Wright, or General Dex in German. Excuse me. What was I talking about?
Language speeds.
Languages. Oh yeah, we play in German. Yeah. But basically, yeah. Like the more text, the more likely it is that Chinese is faster. The more waypoints, the more likely German's faster. In all dungeons, German is probably definitely faster. Probably, yeah, definitely. Maybe, probably, definitely faster. Basically, run in whatever language you want, because after all, like, you know, if it's only a couple seconds, it's just comfort. It's comfort.
Shoutouts to wife here just getting absorbed by the void.
Yes. Come to find out, so for the longest time, we thought that character was just called wife in the game's code. It's not. It's not. Like, I mean, everybody thought this for I think it was because like Glubbers said so as a joke in a marathon run and it caught on. Like, but no, like we still are calling the trick that we use her for wife jump, but yeah, she's not actually called wife.
She's still wife in my heart.
By the way, yes, I can read fluent German, as is evident by my GDQ 2020 run of Link's Awakening for the Switch, where donations made me read 2 different books in the library in German. German's also the fastest German is the fastest straight up for Link's Awakening Switch, like every category in that game. So, yeah, I played that in German, and that's how I learned German.
I mean, people donated. It wasn't even an incentive. It was a joke of, like, if you donate a bunch of money, or someone donated and said, like, if TGH reads, like, one of the books in the library, I'll donate $1,000 or something like that. I don't quite remember. I was on couch for that run.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and then Amber and I egged it on and was like, keep bringing more money, and TGH will keep reading books.
If you go to the photo albums for GDQ 2020 and you go to where the Link's Awakening Switch run was, roughly chronologically, you can see when Jay, or TGH is Jay is TGH's name. And you can see right when he was reading German, and you can see the entire crowd. There's me losing
there's Amber
everything
losing their mind
on the couch, and then like behind me, a little bit in the middle of the picture is our director of operations, Cool Maddie. Just like, I don't think I've ever seen Cool Maddie laugh that hard, and it was beautiful.
It was wonderful.
That was a really good time. But yeah, I have really good memories from that run, for sure. Especially with these two knuckleheads being on the couch as well behind me. Like,
It
yeah,
was
so
good times.
the gang is back together, I suppose.
Another Grezzo Zelda.
Yep. But yeah, we're about to pick up the Tri-Rod. Here we go. This is what makes things happen in the game. This is what makes echoes spawn, or what makes us able to spawn echoes. And learn echoes, like this. So we'll learn the table echo. And we can place the table echo, like this. Didn't miss that jump. Nice. Very nice. Okay, so we're about to escape from the... Nice. I forgot that there was actually gameplay there. We're about to escape from the castle, or from the
From the gameplay?
jail. So there's a stealth section coming up, or it's supposed to be a stealth section, but it's not going to be for us. For us, it is an opportunity to introduce a certain bit of tech that I'm going to be using throughout a lot of the run, called the jump spawn, or a spawn jump, or any order of those two words. But basically, I'm going to hold out my Tri-Rod here and jump when I'm between tiles, and that's going to let me jump up onto the echo that I'm spawning. Those two are faster, but they're not necessarily important to get. Like, I can miss them and, not fail everything in this section and go back to the jail cell. This one is important, though. There we go. We nailed it. All right, cool. So we're up. But yeah, those are entirely position-based, because the echoes need to spawn far enough out in front of you for you to get on top of them. And
that particular table is also very, very risky, because sometimes the game just likes to give you like a minor, like 47-degree angle, and Zelda will try to spawn the table in the wall, causing the table not to spawn, and the guards just come and grab her.
Oh, I've never had that happen. Thank you for saying that after I attempted it, because I definitely would have been jinxed. It definitely would have happened for the first time ever.
I've watched so many people. I won't call out names, but I've watched so many people just spawn the table on the wall, and I just see the puff of smoke, and then the guards are like, "Come here."
You won't call out names, but you definitely would have called me out for that.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Oh, something I would like to mention. I'm not actually mashing. Because this community is awesome, and are advocates for accessibility. Turbo is allowed for the run for text boxes only, but still. Shoutouts to our hands being saved by Turbo being allowed. So I'm using a third-party controller. But again, Turbo is perfectly legal as long as it's only used for text boxes. And thank goodness, because there's a lot of text here.
Can we get, like, some pop-offs in chat, like spam your favorite emotes, or, like, some clapping emotes or something for accessibility? I'm a huge advocate for accessibility in speedrunning, whether it's, software or hardware-based, or based on your health. So,
I can clap while I'm mashing.
Yeah, you can. You're so talented.
Yeah, Glenn? But yeah, shoutouts to accessibility.
Yes.
We had that vote, I think it was like a month and a half ago or so.
I think so, something like that.
Now we're able to spin. Spinning is pretty nice because it allows you to move faster. And you can also buffer spins. There's our bed, by the way.
Bed acquired. Game 1. You can buffer spins as well. So as soon as you let go of the spin button, or as soon as Zelda begins a spin, you can let go of the button for spinning and spin again. Once you hold the button, or let go of the button, hold the button, spin again as she's spinning. I'm sure that was perfectly easy to understand.
Don't you make tutorials for this game?
I do make tutorials, but I
tutorials.
I edit them. I'm speaking a little faster now than I normally do because I'm a hotfix. I apologize.
You heard that right, Amber? He said tutorials, like Undertale tutorial.
Well,
but there's only one of those.
Well, speaking of Undertale, next Friday I'm doing another episode of Passion Project because the reason I'm on Thursday, I'm normally on Fridays. Nicole and I, as seen on TV, and Passion Project are normally every other Friday starting at 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern, roughly. We're normally on Fridays, but AGDQ ate our show. So we ended up here on Thursday, and we'll be doing another set of episodes next Friday on the 24th, and I have Nico Hart for the two-year anniversary of Passion Project. Nico Hart was my very first guest, running a really silly idea in the form of Alien Isolation on DJ decks as the controller. This time around, he's doing Undertale on a bicycle, and the bicycle is the controller. So you'll want to catch that. That starts at 9 p.m. next week on Friday, so definitely tune into that. But for the rest of tonight, enjoy this.
All I can say is shout-outs to Nico.
Nico is wonderful.
Nico is wonderful. Alright, so a little jump spawn there to get over that. And we're just going to sneak behind the Zol to get up here. And I'm probably going to get a rupee here. But this category is 3.5 hours, so we don't really care that much about the text that we get from this rupee. Like, we're going to get it sooner or later, so we might as well get it there while Zelda's all the way inside the cave.
Nothing will ever make me laugh except for that one time I was fighting Goma and I spun through the grass in the Goma fight and it dropped a 5 rupee and it was like Zelda's just like, yo, $5 in the middle of this boss fight.
Yeah, so like every type of rupee, green, blue, red, are there any other type of rupees? Purple rupees. Well, speaking of purple rupees, we do need some rupees for this, because we do need some blue potions. Like, 2 of them are downright necessary for Goma. And the other one's optional, but... we're getting the trampoline as well. The trampoline is optional as well. However, I do believe it saves time in this category, thanks to one section in particular, where it is very handy. This waypoint's forced. You're forced to get this waypoint. But you can see how the text that you get during the waypoint is actually only 1 text box instead of... It's normally 2, trust me. It's normally 2 in every other language. By the way, we're just getting up on the trees using beds. Shoutouts to beds.
Shoutouts to walking on top of the trees as well.
Yep. Yep, to get over to Luberry's house. But oh no, Luberry's house is half eaten by this void.
I still think the walking on trees is just a love letter to Link's Awakening.
It feels like it. It definitely does. So we're skipping past the actual best echo in the game, the sign. The sign is the star of the all dungeons run. But we're not doing all dungeons. Well, we are doing all the dungeons, but we're not doing all dungeons.
How do you plan on completing the game?
I guess glitchless is inherently all dungeons at the same time, right? But yeah, the sign is an echo that lets you glitch the game. However, even if I did get it, I wouldn't be able to glitch this version of the game. Because if you do want to do glitches in Echoes of Wisdom, you need version 1.0.0 or version 1.0.1. And we are on current patch right now, which is 1.0.2.
No cheating
Just
allowed.
keep that in mind. If you want to run this game and you want to run glitch categories, stay on 1.0.0 or 1.0.1. Do not upgrade to current patch.
If you've already upgraded to current patch, we're sorry.
Yeah,
But then you get to run this great category.
you can run this category, it's true. And, but if you want to run anything else, well, for example, Jay has his, so he has his OLED Switch, which is what's running his glitchless run, but he also has his, I think it was, like, not quite launch, it was, like, about a year after launch, he bought a Switch with the red and blue Joy-Cons, he has the first model Switch, and, since he had done a system transfer over to the OLED, he ended up using, that old Switch as his, do not connect to internet machine.
Okay, so this right here, we're going to use this NPC. Remember this NPC that got swallowed up by the void? We thank her for her service.
We're gonna give her some steppies.
Oh, okay.
Oh, never
Alright,
mind.
well, sometimes that happens too. You just get pushed off the back. So we try again. There we go. That's what it's supposed to look like.
That skips the entire cave section there, which saves about like 40 seconds.
Yeah, something like that. Like that, even that still saved like 30 seconds over doing the cave normally. Alright, so we're about to enter the first dungeon of the game's Southern Ruins, or Soothorn Ruins. if you pronounce it wrong. But anyway, we're about to learn Bind right away, the Bind ability, which allows you to basically think of it as Ultra Hand in like Tears of the Kingdom, I think. Like, you grab something with it, and then you move, and it moves with you. Later on in the dungeon, we learn Reverse Bind, which does the opposite. We move where the thing that we're reverse binding moves. But we just push the rock right onto the switch, and we're on our way. Here we do the same thing, except, well, we move a rock. It's the same in that sense, but we uncover a staircase.
Also, shoutouts to beds here.
Yeah, also shoutouts to Zelda being a massive arachnophobe.
Oh, we're just gonna throw 7 beds at this one this one enemy.
Go to sleep, Strandula. But Strandula is also extremely important. Speaking of extremely important echoes as well, we get Igmazil as well.
Ignachad.
Yes, I have already killed it. Wow. I didn't think I'd already killed this, so I was trying to kill it again. By the way, you might notice, for every echo I'm collecting, I'm pausing and unpausing very quickly. That's actually very slightly faster than just, like, mashing through that text, because the game really wants you to use, like, your notebook. It wants you to open your notebook to see, and it'll, like, the text will just hang there a little bit longer, basically. But it's a little bit faster. It's like a few frames faster if you pause and unpause during that text box. This room looks pretty cool. Hopefully I don't mess it up after saying that. There we go. So that Ignazol might have looked a little bit scary, because I placed it on the edge, but it didn't quite drop down. The Ignazol always will drop down there on its own.
Shoutouts to this room teaching you how to fight this mini-boss coming up here, and me not realizing it when I first played this game.
It's okay, though, because we don't actually fight this this mini-boss like that. Not even close. Basically, the question to ask about this mini-boss is, who will win? The hero of time, or one candle boy?
My very first
small candle blob.
My first fight against this, I definitely resorted to just spawning like 6,000 pots. And
interesting. Yes.
Throwing pots at him.
I mean, the pot strategy is valid.
It took 15 minutes because I died once.
That fight takes a long time casually if you don't know exactly what to do. Like, you can use like Ignazol, you can use Dark Nut 1, but like, it's a little slow to get Dark Nut 1.
We actually used to use Dark Nut 1 in the run, and then we realized how much damage the actual, like, the Ignazol actually does.
Yeah.
The damage value of the Ignazol is actually 8 whenever it tackles, versus the Dark Nut 1, which is 6. Or I think it's either 6 or 4.
Yeah, and it also burns whatever it touches too, and does a little bit of extra damage that way too.
Yeah, it's so wild how much like Ignachad does.
All right, so we have the Sword of Might now, which lets us cut these. I don't know what you call these purple webs, and also is very useful for combat in this run as well. I did not pull that nearly far enough.
Yeah, like the strats that like we've come up with in the glitches category versus like the other ones, because we were able to pick up more echoes this way, the strats we've come up with like over the last like few months have just been absolutely like super cool.
So you notice on that last one, you can pull those Dekubabas out of their positions, by the way, to kill them. And you might have noticed there too that I jumped just as the last Dekubaba was being pulled out, and that avoids a bit of knockback that I actually showcased pretty well on that first one, because sometimes that one happens a little bit earlier for some reason. I don't know what causes that, to be honest with you. It might be like pulling taut, like while you're already like while you're like just beginning to grab it or something. I don't know.
Don't blink in this room, or you'll miss like all the really cool tech in this room.
Yeah, I'm gonna try the more aggressive strat here. That's not a bed, Jay. Hang on, you didn't see that.
Somebody clip it.
that's definitely the more aggressive strat. The next room I was talking about. There we go. That's better. I'm gonna try the more aggressive strat in this particular room once and only once, and we'll see if it works.
So instead of waiting for all these platforms, we're gonna use our good pal Strantula here.
Okay, it didn't work. All right. So I was moving a little bit too fast to the right. So we'll do the safe strat now. That's a really good demonstration of why I don't normally do that strat. Excuse me? Okay, that was just weird.
Were you a little late on it, or?
No. Like, I don't think so. Maybe I was, actually. Anyway, that's what it looks like. Just pretend I did that first try. It's fine.
Yeah, but
okay,
like,
so
normally
this,
you have to like...
This room is funny. So
Oh,
this button, right? Just bed. Just bed through the fence.
But yeah, normally you have to like... The game teaches you how to like reverse bind and like hold Zelda in place there so like the platforms can bring her across. But that's slow. We want to go fast.
It is. That room... that
also
room's
bed.
gone... Yes. That room has gone through so many different, like, metamorphoses. Meanwhile, we have Seismic Talus upcoming, which we are going to also utilize bed for. Somebody in my chat the other day referred to this strat as bedhead. And I think
the name of it now forever.
I think there's no better name than that for this trick. And if we do it correctly, we can just stay in Sword Fighter form the whole time. And I'm pretty sure he's going to slam at me. Nope, he's going to spin. Alright, cool. So maybe we have enough energy still. Maybe. Maybe. Not quite. That's just bad luck.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. So a lot of fights in this game are like there's not really RNG to the bosses. It's basically all just timing based. There's no better example of this than the final boss of the game. But every other boss has like some element of that, including Seismic Talus. Like Seismic Talus, if I were to do that fight completely optimally, and I mean just like if I were to save a couple of frames maybe on like one of the first 2 cycles, he would have done the faster slam attack that he ended up doing second, instead of the spin attack like around his body, which just wastes time because he doesn't make himself vulnerable when he does that. So you just kind of have to like, it feels like RNG, but I don't think it is.
I think if I remember correctly, isn't it like a lot of those attacks like really like position based? Like where Zelda is standing? Because like I know like the slam attack, like if you're standing like directly in front of him, he normally slams.
I find
Kinda.
that it doesn't have as much to do with that as it does with just timing, like overall elapsed time that the fight is going on. It's a little strange.
Gotcha.
It's a little bit like it's basically at this point it's still like a little bit pseudoscience-y. The way it's like, you know, the way we sort of determine what's happening, but so there's no way to really know for sure unless we like slow it down and just like frame time a bunch of instances of the fight, which we just haven't really done yet, I don't think. But it feels like it's timing based. Null, on the other hand, final boss is definitely timing based.
Yeah,
like without
for sure.
a question.
Yeah, like you definitely have a very limited amount of time to get the right, you know, attack patterns from Null, especially Null 3. Otherwise, you're gonna see more of that boss than you ever want to see.
You mind if I jump in with a quick plug?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
So First and foremost, I just want to remind everyone that if you have missed out on any of our shows or any of our events, like if you missed out on the any percent run by Glovers of this game from AGDQ, do go watch that. You can catch up on all of our past shows, all of our past events over on our YouTube. You can check out the VODs over there on youtube.com/GamesDoneQuick. And also, if you would like to learn a little bit more about the speed tech in this game and maybe learn some take a look at some tutorials for yourself, maybe you're interested in picking up glitchless because this is probably one of the easiest categories to learn for the game. Maybe it's your first time picking it up as a speedrun. You can go to this numpty's YouTube. It's this guy named TGH, youtube.com/@TGH Live.
Wait, who's that?
I don't know who that is.
I've never heard of that guy.
Never heard of him. But no, he made a new YouTube a while ago for like speedrun related stuff and has finally started posting to it. So do take a look at that stuff. It is speedrun like clips, tutorials, some real talk here and there occasionally. Definitely go check that out, along with our Games Done Quick YouTube for all of our past archived shows and events.
Okay, so this cutscene is skippable. You can skip this cutscene. However, it is A, banned in glitchless. B, even if it weren't banned, I still don't think you'd skip it. Because level 3 sword is that valuable. And when you skip this cutscene, you have to not get any upgrades for the rest of the run, or else the cutscene just plays when you come back to the house. We call it Luberry skip, because you skip Luberry. This guy's name is Luberry. Canonically Impa's brother, if I'm not mistaken. And he upgrades your stuff later on in the run. So, like, right after we finish Jabul Ruins, first we come back here and get the level 2 sword, so that we can do Gerudo Sanctum with the level 2 sword. And later on, we get the level 3 sword, and beams are just that valuable. Like, we really don't want to mess with not having beams in this category, because, like, I don't know what we would do as an alternative for, like, Echo Zelda, for instance. But, and also just the damage between the beam and the slash stacks as well, which is just extremely valuable.
It's what, 18 normal, I think double that on Echoes, right?
It's something like that. The all I know is that the beam is something, like, ridiculous. Like, the beam does more damage than the regular slash does.
Yep.
Which should not be the case. It really should not. Also, speaking of like damage amounts, I was laughing at Photon's post. Like, Darknut 1 is apparently 6 damage, Darknut 2 is 12, and Darknut 3 is 19. It's like, why?
You could just spawn 2 Darknut 2s and it does more damage.
That's true. That's exactly what we do. Actually, we get Darknut 2 in Hyrule Castle in this run, and it is our main damage outputter besides for our own Sword of Might. Alright, so we're gonna grab these rupees here to make it an even 100 that we collect outside of actually just getting greens. Hopefully not blues or reds. So we're going to Gerudo Desert first here. Even though we finished Jabul Ruins first, we go and complete some errands over in Gerudo Sanctum, in Gerudo Desert first. So we do Gerudo errands, and then right before the rift at the Desert Palace, we go to Jabul Waters, and we finish that entire section, and then we come back here and complete Gerudo Sanctum. The reason we route it like that is because still Jabul Waters, right before Jabul Ruins, has a trick that requires the Tornado, which can only be found here and acquired here. And I will talk more about that trick later on.
At first, we hated Tornadoes. And how, like...
Shoutouts to bed launches.
Sporadic, like, the bed launching was in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And then we found a way to, like, completely control, like, how things are launched with a tornado.
God, when this game came out, everybody was, like, totally hype on bed launches, except for me.
And me.
Yeah, bed launches
Don't-
suck. They're awful. They're so inconsistent. They're cool because they're easy to do and they can get you height. But they're just super inconsistent with their launches. And there's a reason for them, which again I'll get into later. That has to do with the fact that they are your own echoes and not static actors like every other item in the game.
Yeah, the bed launches turned into us being like, whenever we were routing this game, we were like, all right, how many bed launches can we remove from the route?
And the answer
turned into was all of them.
Was all of them. Yep.
It turned into like a back and forth with TGH and I, because we were like we were determined to get rid of these bed launches, and we just went back and forth, and we were like, all right, let's try and do this room faster. I don't care if it's 1 second slower than bed launches. This is more consistent. Because sometimes the bed launch can just throw you in the opposite direction.
Exactly.
So we started to get everybody on board, like Owen, you know, who was also doing like a bunch of routing for Glitchless, myself, TGH, I forget everybody, and there was a couple more folks that were helping us with it, but like we ended up finally getting rid of bed launches completely when we found one of the most broken like echo combinations in the game.
Also, gotta give a shout out as well to Kitamura, who basically was the founder of like the over the trees to the east that gets Scrubton route warp or Scrubton warp route words, on the way to Jibble Waters.
Yep.
And also just like kind of revolutionized the way we looked at the glitchless run by their runs.
Yeah, a lot of our route changes were like us watching Kitamura's run and being like, okay, what can we do to like make this faster? Because like this was like still in like the infant stage of the run, and we were still learning like what we can and can't do, and we ended up like just like kind of like studying this run, and the next day Kitamura would just come and drop another time that was like 10 minutes faster.
It's like,
and we're like, all right, well, back to the drawing board.
We've got work to do. But yeah, this section right here is just me kind of going around, and there are basically 3 little mini quests that you have to finish before you unlock the main quest here, to go and complete the rift at Desert Palace and then enter Gerudo Sanctum, or Cryptic Cave, then Gerudo Sanctum. So we're just kind of doing that. We're doing these 3. You don't have to do these in any specific order, but there is a fastest order to do them in. And that would be Southeast, like this Southeast one right here, the Cave of Ancestors up north, and then the one right near Gerudo Town, because we want to finish near Gerudo Town, because that's our last destination.
How
got a
is this
question.
game casually?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
this
there's a
game
question in the
casually
chat.
is phenomenal.
Oh yes.
It's a
Absolutely.
very, very, very fun game. Like there's like the way that like I think Glenn and I described it, or like, you know, with Glovers and everything at GDQ, it's basically Tears of the Kingdom, but like Link's Awakening.
That's
kind of like-
exactly, yeah, like 2D top-down Zelda. Excuse
Yeah.
me, think like a top-down version of like Breath of the Wild / Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah,
That's what
because
it
like
feels
there's no limitations on what you can and can't do in this game with the echoes, and like there's so many different combinations you can do, like with like combining like certain echoes for just movement tech and all this fun stuff.
There's a ask for like, you know, what's a good age range for like if you're trying to get this as a present for your kids or anything like that. I think younger children would have a fun time like messing around in the overworld with echoes, but I do think that you want some like some decent reading skills, because there's a lot of cutscenes and a lot of dialogue, or like, you know, like decent enough reading skills to be able to read like the quest log to know what to do. There are map indicators, as we have the disaster in the desert here.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here. I lost the plot. keep talking, please. Okay, we're good.
Quick, look away.
You didn't see that. I still
I
don't
will
know how I'm
say-
supposed to kill that tornado.
I will say, like, if you're looking for like good age range, My daughter is 9. Nice. I love crushing that mole. My daughter is 9. She played through Link's Awakening on the Switch, and she beat it.
Okay.
So like I'd say probably around like that age.
Yeah, probably
Is,
like
like-
7 to 9 at the youngest, more than likely.
Yeah.
Maybe you could maybe get away with a 6-year-old like messing around in the overworld, especially if they've got an older sibling that can help them. But I think this might be a good fit. Link's Awakening's remake from 2019 would also be a very good fit if you are picking up the newly announced Switch 2 when it releases later this year for their birthday, and you know, want to look for some cute, friendly games for kids. Like both this and Link's Awakening 2019 would probably be good fits if they are not like younger than like 5 or 6.
Meanwhile, I'm 31, so there's like your answer for like, you know, upper.
Wow, you're like still an infant. Jeez.
I mean,
Meanwhile-
that's nice
I was
of you
gonna
to
say I live with you and I can confirm.
Meanwhile, over here, I'm like, you know, trying to scrub the dust off my everything
My body.
because I turned 37 in 6 months.
Oh my god. I didn't realize there was that age gap because TGH and I are both 31, turning 32 this year. It's just, my goodness. I am also a
Yeah.
large kid. I'm very much a big kid.
I
I live
you
firmly in the
both
Sonic
know
world over
you
here.
both have known me for 7 years, 6-7 years.
Yep.
I am definitely also a large child.
I don't know what the passage of time is anymore. I was
all
literally
we're
playing
all
right
kids
before the
apart.
show. I was playing a game that released in 2014 in early access. I was playing Speedrunners on Steam with like a bunch of friends, and I was just like, oh my god, it's been over a decade since this game came out. I remember when this game came out and took the speedrunning community by storm as a fun party game. I remember that era on social media and Twitter and stuff, and just how a bunch of like the speedrunners I followed just couldn't shut up about this game, Speedrunners.
See, all right, y'all are saying y'all are like 31, 42, 36, but you know what? We're all still gamers here. We're all still, you know, we're watching speedruns.
We're kids at
And
heart.
We're kids
There's
at
nothing
heart.
wrong with that.
Absolutely not.
It's good to be young
I-
at heart, honestly.
I will be speedrunning until the day that my doctor tells me not to pick up a controller, because if I do, my wrists are gonna break.
Like a good friend of mine says, growing old is mandatory, growing up is optional.
Exactly.
So here, by the way, all right. So this is like the end of our Gerudo errands section. So they're all like, we need to go to the rifts, to a desert palace, and we're just like, good luck with that. I'm going over here. So yeah, we are actually heading out of here for now, but we'll be back later. We'll be back later. So now we're gonna head over towards
Game?
Triple Waters, and this route is actually really interesting that we take to get there. We take this route over these trees. And this is
Shoutouts
where the
to,
trampoline comes in handy. This is one of the parts where the trampoline comes in handy.
Also, this is where we shout out Kitamura for this.
Yes, yeah,
Like-
this is the route that Kitamura basically founded. This way, over these trees. This is actually just the most convenient time to get the Scrubton warp as well. So that we can have nice, easy access here right after we finish Hyrule Castle and, like, basically begin the second half of the game. And the way
Hey,
we
Jay,
get
are you,
over, like, there's a big gap here between the trees, too, that, you think might stop us, but by the power of bed, and a miss menu, by the power of bed, we can get up here, and...
The power of bed compels you.
Jay,
and there we go.
I have a hankering for cotton candy. You want to go get some?
Maybe later.
Oh, okay.
Maybe later. Yeah, the rift isn't there yet. So we'll have to wait a bit.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's no
Yeah.
cotton candy.
Yeah,
Dang
we'll
it.
have to wait a bit. But let me ask you a question preemptively. What do you care more about, your friends or cotton candy?
You can't see me, but I'm looking around.
How dare you!
That is like my favorite cutscene ever. The cutscene right before you enter the Farron wetlands is like it's two scrubs like talking because like one of them just got pulled into the rift
Yep.
and petrified, and like one of them's like sitting there eating the cotton can eating the spider web cotton candy, and the other one's like you just tell them like, oh, we can fix the rift and save your friends, and the other one's like just sitting there, you just hear hum 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 hum, and like they're like, what do you care more about, your friends or the cotton candy? And like the
You gotta
scrub
think about it.
The scrub looks down at the cotton candy, looks up, and looks at his friend, and the friend is like, you idiot!
It's really funny. Like, even if you, like, I don't know, even if you don't see the actual answer because the run is in German and you can't, like, read German, it's still funny.
You could just see the gigantic text of
Yep.
him,
Yep.
of like the scrub just being like, you idiot! How dare you!
So yeah, and a kind of unfortunate consequence, by the way, of us, like, doing all the errands first and then going over here and doing more errands is, well, we have to do all the errands kind of in a row at the start of this game. So, like, we go do Gerudo errands, and then, hey, guess what? We go somewhere else and we do more errands, and we're watching a bunch of cutscenes. This run really starts to pick up at around the 55 or so minute mark. Or I'll say 53 minute mark, because that's when we enter the rift with Drad, who we'll meet in a little bit.
Jay, I just want to point out to you, 80% of chat, 73% of chat now says that cotton candy is better than Friends.
Well, I mean, I guess we can't argue with that, right? Majority wins.
Yo, shoutouts to cotton candy.
I mean, I've also voted cotton candy.
I did too.
Amber doesn't even like cotton candy, and
Hate it. I just it
But they're
just
better
got
than
nothing
Friends.
for me. Look, I use a cotton candy body spray, and I have since many
That's
many
true,
years
that's true.
ago,
That-
and
that
it
is
smells
true.
great. I love the smell of cotton candy.
yeah.
Anyone know which of the Zelda timeline this game falls in? Let's not talk about timelines.
I love that
Please.
Zora right there. I love that Zora. It's like, what? Bed? Huh?
How did we get
Bed?
4 pieces for echoes? Is a question in the chat. It's called
You
we've
get it.
defeated
You
2
get it for
bosses,
completing.
right?
You get it for.
Oh, yeah,
Well, we got the 4th one for defeating Seismic Talus.
Oh,
That
right,
leveled
right.
us up to 2, which gives us the 4th echo.
Yeah, so as soon as you finish Southern Ruins, you get the power of 4 tri-power, I'll call it.
Shoutouts to Cotton Candy for winning this poll, by the way.
Oh, was there an actual poll?
Yeah, no, I
Yes.
didn't realize until you had
I-
said that chat was voting, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, no, the shout outs to the poll.
60% said.
No. No, that's a situation where if Cotton Candy didn't win, I would be shocked.
And so we'd cancel the whole run right here.
We
Trade
would
you
we would say like, this is not the right audience for this run. We have to cancel this.
I'd trade you to Ganon for 1 piece of cotton candy.
Great. I
So you-
would be happy to be traded for Cotton Candy.
Sell you to Ganon for 1 singular Cotton Candy.
Just what?
A singular
so wait.
strand of cotton candy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what is the unit that we're going by here? Like, of cotton candy? Is
Strand.
it one
strand.
strand?
It's like a strand of hair.
I'm gonna break my brain trying to figure out how strands of cotton candy work.
Do you
Because,
not
like,
know
just
how cotton candy's made? It's spun. It's literally like you put like like a special sugar, or you can also put like crushed candy and stuff into like this little drum in the center, and it melts the sugar and spins it out wildly. And as it dries in the air, it becomes these strands of stretched sugar.
Gotcha. I guess when I think of cotton candy, I think of just like giant wads of cotton candy.
Yeah, no. That like you take like a paper cone and like you catch the strands as they come out of like the metal drum, and you spin it around the cone, and that's how it becomes a giant wad. Typically, like when you're serving it at like a fair or something.
By the way, this is Drad and Kashara. They do not shut
Love
up.
each other.
No, they do.
There's been so many moments of this like scene while running glitchless where you're just like, oh my god, shut up and kiss.
Yep. Get a room.
This feels like because it's like two very different Zora designs. You have like the classic Zora on the left and the modern Zora on the right. It's just like it's watching classic and modern Sonic fans argue.
Also, shout outs to River Zora and Sea Zora, both appearing in the same Zelda game for the first time since Oracle of Ages.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so for the first time since 2001, I want to say, is when Ages and Seasons came out.
I think that's
Ooh.
right.
Amber, we can have another like battle like with the whole Sonic, classic Sonic and like new Sonic, because now we could do it with Donkey Kong.
Oh my god, yeah, in the new Mario Kart that they teased, they showed classic Donkey Kong. And people are like, what did they do to my boy? And it's like, other people are like, I love him, I'm protecting him with my life. If anything were to happen, I would destroy everything for this for this boy. And then other people are like, why is he so wide?
I'm expecting them to have two Donkey Kongs, one being like new Donkey Kong and one being like classic.
I mean, classic Donkey Kong is just Cranky Kong.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just young Cranky Kong, who knows? Cranky Kong in his prime.
So I would join in this conversation, but I don't really know anything about the Donkey Konkies, so...
It's true, you know
Donkey
nothing about the
Konkies.
Donkey Konkies.
There's a
Jay, I'm also upset that you weren't going like bruh.
Oh no, that's your
Bruh,
thing.
bruh.
That's your thing. I
No,
wouldn't steal
you
that
got
from
me
you.
on that.
I wouldn't
You
steal
got
that
me
from
on
you.
that.
You can't
You
blame
got
me
me
for
on that.
You
with,
can't blame me
with
for that.
Link to the Past and the ocarina.
No. I did the bruh, but I didn't tell you to start going bruh. I didn't. That's not my fault.
No, this is all your fault.
Just remember, the Link to the Past mirror sound is bruh. Just remember that. That's all you need to know about this. The context of this.
I've been
conversation.
trying to get Jay to make this like a some kind of an alert for his channel of him just recording himself going bruh.
I've never heard somebody else do that. Oh god.
It sounds funnier when you hear it
Yo.
instead of doing it.
Someone in chat, oh no, we're not even an hour in and it's already time for the Donkey Konkies.
Yep. Meanwhile, we actually have some action upcoming here. This rift is actually the first rift that we do here to get Try's friends back.
This is why you should never put all three of us in one voice call.
Oh, never
So
again.
the routing of this particular rift is pretty interesting, actually. So it's gone through a little bit of I mean, it's gone through a couple different iterations. Like we used to do like a sort of like I don't know, not the route that we're doing right now. Like we used to go get this one first and then go up and get that one. But getting that one first is just like, it's well faster. Very, very much faster.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a very important question for you from chat.
What's up?
Are you a smoothie guy or a cotton candy guy?
Oh, 100% a smoothie guy.
Yes.
Cotton candy.
100% a smoothie. Cotton candy's too sweet. That's not trampoline.
Which
This
of
is
you
the
has-
part right here, by the way. That's the part that trampoline is actually really handy for, because that Octorok can break your beds if you try to use beds. So the one situation where bed is not the answer. And here we have Bombfish. Bombfish is very handy throughout the run and also required. Like here. So this last one can be really tricky because you got to kind of try and bait this fish if you don't want to, like, just outright destroy it. So I'm missing the... Okay. Okay, no, that's bad.
Oh no.
Yeah, this
On
is...
the run.
I don't know what he's doing now, but he's distracted now. He's...
Instead of using
really-
our trusty sword, we're just gonna drown the enemy. Because it's faster.
Yeah.
Usually.
That's usually faster.
The
Yeah,
biggest
I just
thing
kind of
about
missed
this
it. I
route...
missed it.
The biggest thing about this route and why we do like Jibble Waters like first is because we're coming here to pick up a very, very, very strong echo coming up in the next rift.
Yeah, so I
the
didn't-
water block.
Yeah, I didn't mention why we actually come back here first instead of just finishing Gerudo. Water block is that powerful, and also level 2 sword is way more valuable in Gerudo Sanctum than it is in Jibble Waters. Because Vocavore is still a pretty fast fight even with level 1 sword. Vocavore being the boss of Jibble Ruins, whereas Magrif basically requires the level 2 sword to do fast.
Yeah.
And so does Link, the Link fight.
Yeah, you're gonna
Sanctum.
see a lot of like the early game before we start getting like the actual like powerful echoes of us just placing a couple water blocks down, binding the enemies, and then like yanking them into the water, and they just instantly drown and die. It's fantastic.
Yeah, the water block is extremely good. It's like actually kind of incredible. Extremely useful, especially in Gerudo Sanctum.
What does TGH stand for today? Hold on, I got you.
Are you going
Yeah,
to go to his Twitch
go to my
chat?
chat and type !TGH.
Yeah. It stands for Times Giorno Holler.
You heard it here first.
Here you go.
I feel like that would be a really, really dumb font.
It might be a really dumb font, yes.
Can
It's
someone
just-
design
it's
that as a font, please? And
It's
name
just
it
an
that?
alternative to Wingdings.
God. No. What it does is, it's a font where all of the glyphs are shuffled across the keyboard. So if you press Q, you might get P. Press G, you might get 6.
Wait, what was that one thing that Jay said in my chat one day about like ordering the pizza?
Don't even go there.
Oh no!
Don't even go there.
We have a typos channel in the Fast Pace Events Discord where TGH and I are staff, and it's a staff typos channel. And so we were going through those typos from like all of 2024, and there's some egregious ones from TGH.
I can't remember. It's a command in my channel, I think.
It was like, okay, so like I tried to type pizza sauce, but sauce did not come out as sauce.
Hold
Came
on,
out
I'll
as something
find it.
very different.
Hold
not
on,
even
I'll find it.
not even resembling the word sauce.
Log
Yeah,
into my night
basically, don't try to type one-handed while eating pizza. It will not go well. Where's...
Or it might if you cared about using the backspace key, which I evidently did not.
No, you didn't. It was, I'm just gonna spell this out. Y'all can figure this out, how you'd pronounce this.
Okay, yeah,
Pronounces this?
Murphy just typed it.
It's I was gonna say it's a DPOMINOS. Gave me the SOPECIAL KSSUCEC.
This is what happens when we have a run where more than half of it is downtime, by the way.
That's what
We've
the Times Giorno Holler font would be.
Yep.
75% of this run's commentary has been not involving the game in any shape or form. It's just been either my typos or
Look, there's a
whatever.
story happening on the screen, but we
There
can't
is.
read it. Although you could try to read it, and I'm sure chat would have a great kick out of that.
no.
You sure?
Yes.
Uh,
Drifels. There we go. I read that one.
I
That
think
one was
when
easy.
Tej had said that, like when he had typed that in my chat, I think I had to like later on. I think that run ended up dying because I was just losing my mind.
You know what else we have time for? We have time for an announcement really quick. Did you know
Ooh,
that
yes.
GDQ has an official Discord? If you join the official GDQ Discord and you add the Hotfix role to yourself, it's where you can keep tabs on upcoming events, talk with staff, and more. Use !Discord in the Twitch chat for more information on that. In fact, I'm gonna type it in channel chat if I can, actually... Yeah, there we go. I can spell. I can
we go.
spell Discord.
As long as you don't type one-handed. With pizza
Look,
in
I
the other
typed
hand.
two.
With pizza.
Look, I type two-handed and I can't type anything.
Can
Can't spell.
confirm.
I can't speak. Someday I'll English. It's not an episode of Passion Project if I don't flub words.
So what do you think Drad and Kashara are talking about? The
Probably like what toppings they want on their pizza.
The special Kasusik.
Susuk?
I don't know how you pronounce that. I typed it, but I don't know how you pronounce that. Anyway, after this cutscene, we're headed over towards Jabu Jabu's den, where Drad and Kashara will talk some more, and then we'll finally enter the Jabu Jabu fight, which is actually quite exciting. And I mean that seriously. I'm not joking. All right.
Yeah,
so,
this fight has been a bane to my existence.
And then we actually get some really, really cool tech in Jabul. Still Jabul ruins, or still Jabul waters and Jabul ruins. Like, it picks up from here on out.
Yep. Still my favorite category of this game.
So now we have the section where we have to move this, like, debris off of these pedestals. There's nothing really to this. Like, we can grab the piece in the water from out of the water. You don't actually have to go down because, like, kind of pulling it up with you against the wall kind of brings it up by it. Hello? Kind of brings it up by itself. That was weird. Like that. There we go. So yeah, so this door can't be opened unless the leader of the Sea Zoras and the leader of the River Zoras play a song together. So it's up to us to move the debris off the pedestal so that they can do this.
I think my favorite part is like when they first try to play the music and like you can hear like the music notes like clashing with each other, and it makes like those like the.
That was a really funny moment for me in my first playthrough. Yeah, and then like, you know, by the way, Jabu has eaten Inawa and Ragma, who are like the sort of like assistants to these two leaders. But they don't seem to care too much right now. They're just still kind of like talking, and it's like, can like go save your people, go, stop talking and go.
They don't know how.
I get this is a cutscene, but please have some awareness.
They don't know how.
Nah, but for right now, it's me who needs awareness because I need to do this fight on a heart and a half right now.
Bruh.
So there is a quick kill to this fight, which is quite challenging. There is a damage cap, however, on these cycles, which makes it so that I can only really do like 10 damage on each phase. So I'm gonna try to get a heart here, and I got energy, which is not what I wanted. Not bad, at least. Don't hit me, fish. All right, 1, 2, 3, 5. I need 10 hits. 6, 7, 8. Or 10 hits and then a spin. Okay. I want that heart. Give me that. Give me that. Okay, never mind. Never mind.
You ain't getting it.
Never mind. That collision was weird. Okay, so now here's the hard part. Before he does one of these again, I can actually end the fight. Right here. So it's harder, though, because he's bouncing around. That could not have gone much better.
Nice.
That was a good fight.
Yeah, that was really good. So energy can be a problem in that fight. Obviously, dying can be a problem in that fight. But that was a actually super good fight.
Yeah, the fight originally wants you to like have a learn the bombfish echo there. And when he goes like into like the back of the or like the front of that like rift, he just like absorbs and like inhales, and you're supposed to like make him inhale the bomb, and then it stuns him, and then you can damage him then.
Yeah, so, okay, upcoming, very cool trick, actually. This upcoming section is the one I was mentioning before, where Tornado is used. We're basically skipping almost this whole section.
Yeah, this is why we grabbed Tornado here, to skip this entire rift, because this is a very, very long rift.
With Tornado and a pot that we find, because this is a, what I'll call a static actor, it's actually seeded. Every time you hit it with a Tornado, the movement of it is seeded. It's not random, which is what makes this work. So, check this out. Top-down mode makes this first part more consistent because frame rate dropping can actually affect that trick pretty badly. We grab the water block, which is one of the best echoes in the game. And we continue to use this pot here.
And it's very, very important that we jump in and out of that pot to set like the proper positioning for this trick to work.
Yep, and there we go. That's it. Those are Tornado chains in Stillageable Waters. One of the best tricks in the run. One of the most impressive looking, for sure. So, yeah, shoutouts to Owen for finding that application of, like, you know, and the whole, like, static actor thing, where there's basically no luck in that. But I found a way to make that first part more consistent by actually using top-down mode, which you do by holding in the right stick, which is pretty awkward controller grip-wise, as you might imagine. By the way, we can skip, like, 90% of this place.
Do you have a Tornado tutorial yet?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on my my main YouTube channel, though, not the new one.
Oh, you should probably move that over.
Yeah. So yeah, we basically just skip, like, all of Chupul Ruins. And go down here, get the big key, and then swim all the way back, because it's actually a little faster than auto-loading, which I haven't even talked about auto-loading, because I haven't done it yet. So the game likes to make autosaves, right? So you'll see in the bottom left-hand corner, you'll see Spiekevergang. I definitely nailed that pronunciation. But that means it's auto-saving, right? Or that means saving in German. So, I think, at least. So, it makes autosaves, which you can load, and it's basically just meant to, like, move your position, like, to, like, the last entrance that you used, or the last, like, warp that you used. That's one of the reasons, by the way, right there, why Water Tile is so good. It's both used for vertical height and also for combat as well, which we'll see later.
Sorry, did you say water tile?
Water tile. Water block, water tile, I call it either or sometimes.
Oh, that's the Wasserblock.
The Wasserblock, yeah.
Okay, so here's Vocavore. He's got the blobs on his back that you need to get rid of, which just one spin slash takes care of those. Now this is very positionally important right there. So I have to kill, or I have to end that cycle while Vocavore is, like, basically half in the water and half not in the water. So that makes it so that I can swim to this corner to avoid that attack, and then swim back down, do the same thing. Spin, spin, or rather slash, slash, spin, up to the corner, avoid that attack, rinse, repeat. Literally. Oh, slash the right direction, please. And that's the fight.
I've got you now!
Shout out to joystick flick back. I've got you now. Just opposite direction. But yeah, so that was a pretty good still Jabul. That was pretty good Jabul ruins. Everything except the boss went well.
The boss went pretty good.
The boss was okay, actually. It just felt bad to swing in the wrong direction. Like I just had my I just had like a full 30 seconds added onto my run for like loss of swag or something by swinging the wrong way. Okay, so now that Jabul Waters is done, we can, or it's not going to be the last time we come to Jabul Waters, but we'll get there later. We're going back to
go take care of the desert,
yeah,
which also introduces another very, very strong echo.
oh god, yeah, another one of my favorites. Like if water tile is like my favorite, like niche use echo, flying tile is definitely my favorite movement related echo.
My entire casual playthrough, flying tile was like always selected on my screen.
There's one part in Elden, like later on in Elden Temple, where like you keep that thing equipped for like a full minute in
So
that
good.
temple and like before that temple. It's great. It's just so useful in so many different ways.
Especially since
also,
we
like-
sta- I was
God,
gonna say,
sorry.
especially since we started like to understand like how the like the flying tile works and like how we can chain tile. Oh, it's such a good echo. I didn't know you started skipping heart containers.
Yeah, I get 6 in this run. 5 if I feel like dying to Slime Eye, but 6
love
if I
Slime
feel like
Eye in
getting
this.
past him. Yeah.
We love Slime Eye. We don't.
God, I wish it were Slime Eye from Link's Awakening so bad. Not quite.
Just dash into it.
Yep. Just Pegasus boots it.
Hey, Chad, I got a question for y'all. Y'all like the classic Zora design on the left or the modern Zora design on the right?
That's a good poll question. That's a good poll question. I have
Don't-
my answer, but I'm biased.
Don't base them off of Drad and Kishara
No, base them off of the normal
design.
design. I feel like 99% of people would say Zora based on Drad and Kishara's design. Drad in his strawberry cloak.
The rock roast is also pretty good, Owen. I agree with that. Rock roast is a very good niche echo usage.
Rockers is actually useful in this run. In one particular part.
Shockingly, it is.
Yep. By the way, if you have a certain emote, if you're subbed to my channel and you have a certain emote, now's the time to spam it.
If I could spell it.
Because-
I almost typed in TGH Janu.
Very good.
Welcome to the still Janu ruins.
My first Zelda
Shout out.
game had no Zoras. Wind Waker.
Oh yeah. Shout outs as well to Yabu Yabu. As well.
Yabu Yabu.
It's actually, now that I think about it, it is ironic. I mean, I guess the Zora is like evolved into the Rito, right?
I think that's true, yeah. I think in
Yeah,
Wind
which-
Waker that's what
which-
happened.
I'm not even gonna think about how that works with the timeline.
Yeah, we don't
Don't
want to
even
think about
mention
how
that.
both Zora and Rito exist in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
That's a good point too.
Wait. Shh. Best character here.
Oh, I don't think he does the
He does. He doesn't do it here, but his
No.
sound effects are still good.
Before Hyrule Castle, he does it.
Also, modern Zora are taking it away.
I disagree. I mean, like, okay, so like my first ever video. What? Oh, whoops. Shoutouts to me not having the right turbo setting.
Zelda's just very excited.
My first video game ever was Zelda 1, which had the River Zora design.
70% of chat disagree with you and think that the modern Zora design.
That's fine. Maybe it is objectively a better
superior.
design, but like, you know, my heart is still with the old Zora design.
Yeah, but see, then you have to like actually praise Zelda 1, and we don't want to do that.
You know what? You're right. Yeah, see Zora it is. Yeah, on second thought, yeah, screw it. Okay, so now we're actually upgrading our sword to level 2. So the first upgrade there takes 10 might crystals, which are the little blue things that we get at the end of every dungeon and rift. And in no other part in this run, but we don't need any extras in this run. The next one will take 20. So as soon as we get 20 might crystals, we'll go back there and we'll get level 3. That'll happen after Farron Temple, after we finish, Farron Temple. Which becomes available after we finish Hyrule Castle, which is like... Farron Temple's 3 dungeons from now. Think of it that way.
Oh, while we're here in Gerudo Desert again, I just have another announcement to go through real quick as we jump into this rift. Did you know that GDQ's next all-women and femme speedrunning event, Frost Fatales, will be live from March 9th through the 16th. That's going to be benefiting the National Women's Law Center. If you visit gamesdonequick.com/Frame Fatales, you'll get more information on the event, and the schedule just came out today for Frost Fatales. Actually, yeah, it's the schedule. I thought it was a games list. It is the schedule, and that is out now. So go ahead, check out the schedule over at gamesdonequick.com/Frame Fatales. Let me know what you want to see.
So those water blocks, by the way, I put way out to the left just to avoid that fish.
Yeah, if the fish touches it, those like water blocks explode.
Yeah. You don't want that to happen. Well, there's Facette, even though she's like, you know, also in the not stilled world. So like, what's up with that? What's up with that, Ray? Something fishy about that one. I don't know. There might.
No,
I
that
think
was
there
that was
actually...
that was the last dungeon, Jay. The last dungeon was fishy.
Oh. I didn't see any fish. I just saw Jabu Jabu. Jabu Jabu's not a fish. He's a god. By the way.
He's a fish god.
God of fish.
So anyway, I got nothing.
Actually, we were talking about first Zelda games, how you mentioned your first game was Zelda 1. Someone else says, my first Zelda was Seasons on the GBC, and another person's first was Link's Awakening. My first 3D Zelda and my first overall Zelda was Wind Waker, and my first 2D Zelda was Link's Awakening DX. But my favorite Zelda game, my favorite overall Zelda game and 3D Zelda is Breath of the Wild, and then my favorite 2D is Link's Awakening, probably the 2019 version, because it's got more quality of life than DX does.
Yeah, my favorite Zeldas are definitely Link's Awakening DX and Wind Waker. Specifically, I think I think Link's Awakening DX. Like, even over the remake. It's just like, it's too much nostalgia for me. It's too much nostalgia for me to say no. To it being my favorite Zelda. Like, Zelda 1, I would say this, Zelda 1 was the first video game I ever played. Link's Awakening was the first video game I ever, like, fell in love with. And, like, really, really, really enjoyed.
Yeah, Wind Waker for me for 3D, and then Zelda 2 for 2D.
We got
Zelda 2.
my first the person whose first was Link's Awakening was the original release, the OG black and white one. Someone else says, my first Zelda was the gold cartridge of Legend of Zelda on the NES because I am old. It's okay to be old. My first one was Link to the Past. Is the first game I ever played. It was also the first game they ever played. A teacher says, Dark Horse Zelda game, Minish Cap.
Yes.
Minish Cap is
Yes, Minish Cap is so good.
Minish Cap is probably the best looking 2D Zelda out there.
I can agree with that. I agree. The sprite work is totally top notch in Minish Cap. It's so good.
good. Shoutouts to Facette getting slashed in the
Yeah.
back.
Absolutely savage by Sierra there. It's too bad she killed the real Facade, but oh well. You know.
Yeah. Now,
At least,
now
at
the
least it
Echo
looked
one.
cool. Yeah, now the Echo can just run free. Oh, well.
My first Zelda was the masterpiece that is Phantom Hourglass. If you want to see a Phantom Hourglass speedrun, my very first Hotfix show I did, which was never before seen, I started hosting that like 5 years ago. Go check that out. On the YouTube channel, GamesDoneQuick or GamesDoneQuick / YouTube. No, that's not how that works. YouTube.com / GamesDoneQuick, and you can search Games Done Quick Never Before Seen, and there's the full playlist. And that was one of my first, actually, it was my first episode.
It was your
Phantom
first
Hourglass,
episode,
and Ice Blue here on commentary was a runner for BS Legend of Zelda with TGH on commentary.
Yeah.
That's a blast
Which,
from the past.
Which,
Yeah.
by the way, y'all should go and seek out playing BS Legend of Zelda. It's pretty good.
Hopefully that works. Okay, good. So yeah, the tornado there targets like something else there and actually allows us to just kind of aim it wherever in that space, and it just ends up hitting it. Also, I did something kind of sneaky there with my menus. I got rid of the amiibo pop-up, the pop-up that tells you, hey, you can use amiibo. And also at the same time, equipped my urchin here, so I can do that. And get Pathblade, another really cool movement-related echo. So, about the amiibo pop-up, that will be like pretty annoying throughout a run if you don't get rid of it, because there are a lot of auto loads that we do from this point on. I did my first one actually a little bit ago, right after getting the key here, and that just brought me to the beginning of Cryptic Cave. So it's pretty useful. We do it a bunch in Gerudo Sanctum as well, but normally every time you do it, if you don't like do a manual save, which is slow, every time you do it, an amiibo pop-up will come up and just like kind of like get in your way, and it takes like a full second and a half to get rid of or something. This is an auto load. There we go. It's as simple as just going to your menu and clicking load, and then just mashing A basically, or menuing to yes. There's that all important menu to yes, but yeah, just a little bit of menu optimization. So here we go into Gerudo Sanctum. Gerudo Sanctum is actually probably my favorite dungeon in Glitchless. It's very fun.
I really like Elden.
I like Elden too, but I like Gerudo because A, you get Flying Tile in it, and B, you use Flying Tile a lot in it. In some pretty cool ways. So yeah, Flying Tile is actually like a completely optional echo that I actually missed in my casual playthrough. I didn't get Flying Tile at all, but it's right here. It's right in this room here. So we're getting this warp so that we can easily just auto-load back to it after getting this Flying Tile echo right here.
Yeah, otherwise you have to wait for every single flying tile in here to crash against the wall, and then you can leave.
So here's a really good example of something you can do with it. I'm going to try to tile chain right away here. 1, 2, so that we can just squeeze right through there without touching the lever. By the way, we'll see a few of these like rotating doors throughout the run. I'm going to try to pull them diagonally every time I see one, because it just like it makes it so that you don't get like knocked back as far after you pull it. Just gets you a little closer to the entrance. And here we have how good the water block is.
I think this fight specifically is like why we do water blocks like first. Because these Mothulas are awful. They take, I think it's like 5 or 6 sword slashes. And just water blocks just completely obliterate those things. This game is amazing. I agree, Gland. It's a very, very base take.
So we've seen some pretty creative echo usages in this dungeon already so far, but how about just using no echoes on this guy? How about just dragging that Poe into his own fire to kill him, like instantly?
The first time I saw you do that, I was like, did you just kill him with his own fire? Just pull him into it?
I think my casual playthrough, I think I died like 4 times in that room because that Poe just like would not cooperate. This is another really, really cool like usage of like the flying tile and like angles.
So we collect this bird statue. We need the bird statue and the elephant statue. Because there was a room I was in earlier, like right before the Poe fight, where there's a hint. I forget exactly what the hint says, but basically we need to put the elephant statue on the left pedestal and the owl statue, or the falcon statue rather, on the right pedestal. If I'm really tight with movement here, I can squeeze through that room without getting caught by the Redead. This fight's really funny, actually, if it goes well. This first phase is whatever, but the second phase is really funny if I'm able to get this AI to work the way it's supposed to. Because if you fire a tornado, like right as this section starts without touching the joystick at all, it does some really funny things to the AI. So like, there we go, and okay, that's strange. I think it's gonna end up fine though. Hey, no. I couldn't quite jump over it. It's still not an awful fight. Not ideal, but yeah, so ideally that left Link would just stay there. It would just stand there and watch the tornado go across the room. In this case, I think I fired it a bit too early. Or something, I don't know. Something was a little different. We don't collect the bow. There's actually a legitimate reason we don't collect the bow, besides just it's faster to skip it.
Yeah, the bow actually makes Link in the final fight worse.
Very bad. Like, even worse than he already is.
Yeah. Because Link will only, like, if you don't collect the bow or the bombs, Link won't be able to use those in the final fight. And if Link's not able to use those, he prioritizes using the sword, which we have level 3 sword for. And I've noticed, like, if he has the bow or bombs, he'll just sit there and just aim the bow the whole fight.
It's pretty bad. It's like a very bad problem to have in that fight. You definitely don't want to get the bow if you want to do null fast.
Yeah, Link will prioritize charging the bow up to fire, like, the triple arrow volley versus, like, charging up a sword spin.
So this is glitchless, so we get to do this room right here while being able to see stuff, which is a...
I love not being blindfolded during my run.
Which is a perk. Alright, so yeah, it's just twisting clockwise there 3 times, and then bind pulling the middle ring there, and then just clockwise 1 more time to finish the puzzle, get the big key. And now, this boss has a pretty tricky quick kill, or quick cycle rather, this first cycle. So I'm going to stand here, place the statue there. As soon as he throws a dirt thing, I'm going to place the statue there. I didn't jump. Yeah, okay, I messed that up. Alright, so I just wasn't able to jump in time. Alright. That's fine. Yeah, I was 3 hits short. I think I tried to jump while I was swinging, and it didn't work that well.
Also, we know how many sword swings we can do before we have to do a spin slash, to like per phase and things like that. So it makes it like a little easier for us to like time our hits here.
All right, now I'm not sure where he's gonna spawn. Okay, over there. I was not quite close enough to him. Alright. Nope. Cool. Yeah, if I'm in the quicksand, it makes it a lot harder to pull him there. But yeah, you can immediately end like the intermittent cycles there by just like kind of binding him, just pulling him. Yep. There we go. All right, so not an ideal fight by any means, but
Mogriff be
defeated,
doing
so-
Mogriff things.
yeah. But yeah, so ideally what I would have done on that first cycle was jump, and then jump slash, and then slash again as I'm landing to get 10 hits and then a spin. And that ends the first cycle immediately. And an added bonus is that I know exactly where he's going to go after that. So that I can, like, script the fight, basically.
Well, no. Actually, we do want to talk about how long it took you to kill that boss casually.
Hmm?
Mogriff.
Yeah.
Awola
Wait,
said
what's...
Awola said they don't want to talk about how long it took them to kill the boss casually.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me. Okay. I was
No.
like, wait, what do you know about my casual Mogriff?
I watched it.
How common knowledge is? No, I didn't stream it.
It's true, he didn't.
I didn't stream my casual playthrough of this. So, like, how did you know I spent 9 days trying to beat that boss?
No wonder it took you so long to come help me with the glitchless routing.
True. Guilty as charged. Alright, so if I wanted to be very aggressive here, I would skip this heart container. I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Not today.
Not
Not
for
in
the
a
next
marathon.
dungeon.
Not in a marathon. Or not in a showcase run. Okay, so now we have all 3 of the early game dungeons done. So the game is kind of divided, like the dungeon set, like all the dungeons in the game are divided into 2 distinct like halves. There's the pre-Hyrule Castle half and the post-Hyrule Castle half. We have done now all of the pre-Hyrule Castle dungeons. So now Hyrule Castle will be unlocked as soon as we go see Lubury real quick. And then we finish Hyrule Castle, and then the second half of the game effectively starts after Hyrule Castle. Like, the Ganon fight is basically the halfway point in the game and in the run. Like, it's exactly halfway through the run, pretty much. Alright, so we're gonna go see Lubury real quick. So, I almost said Sinister left. Minister left and General Wright are just hanging out. It's actually a unintentional, clever pun. Sinister left. If you know Latin at all, but I don't. But it's still clever. Promise. But yeah, they're just chilling here, and they're gonna go storm Hyrule, or they're at least gonna go to Hyrule Castle. General Wright's gonna storm. Minister Left is gonna reluctantly, trail after him. We need to make sure that we're quiet for General Wright's soundbite here. Because I've talked over every one of them so far.
This
But
is
here we
also
have fun
cool
pathway
movement tech here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here we go. Let it rip. What? What? Okay, that's one thing I wasn't expecting to mess up this run. All right.
Yeah, let it rip,
No.
alright.
You let it rip, and then we
Really?
had we're having Beyblade matches. Quite seriously.
They weren't supposed to actually touch each other. Okay.
I love
We're
that
good.
one random moblin that was like, I'm gonna stand in the way.
Yeah, that never happens. Unless you mess that up. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet. Listen very carefully to General Wright's sound bites.
Why did they greenlight that one?
Why wouldn't they greenlight that one?
Sounds like me at a Brazilian steakhouse.
Just gnawing on a piece of meat.
That makes me sad about not being able to go to GDQ this year. Or AGDQ, at least.
Yeah, AGDQ.
But you're
Hopeful.
saying there's a chance.
We're hopeful for SGQ being able to go.
Just know, Tuesday, 6 p.m.
Okay, so I have a very fun fact for you. Shoutouts to Dread Optimist. I'm a moderator in the Games Done Quick channel. Shoutouts to Dread Optimist, who I just saw got auto-modded for typing ngung, 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 ngung. I don't know why that got auto-modded. But that's very funny. And I hope that gets allowed.
Look, I am also a moderator.
True.
I saw it come through too, and I was just quietly losing it over here.
Oh, so right there, we actually skipped a cutscene with Try, by the way. Try tries to talk to you. Keyword try.
He
talk to you.
tries
Heh.
to talk to you.
Yeah. But if we go that way around the wall, or around the gate and over the wall, he doesn't get the chance as long as you don't touch the ground.
That cutscene is also very long, too.
Oh, here we have some tile chaining, by the way, or some tile jumping going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use flying tile to get up on top of the barracks. Use one here. 1, 2. Chain, so it's basically the jump spawn tech that I was talking about at the start of the run, except we're using it with a flying tile instead of using it with a bed or with anything else. And the result is we can basically just cover a bunch of horizontal distance without touching the ground at all. Very, very cool stuff with the flying tile there. So here we have Hyrule Castle, which has some pretty cool strats in itself as well.
I'll give a shout out to Tej earlier showing me the new strats for this room. It was like,
Yep.
yo, check this out. Immediately messes it up.
Yeah, nobody need to know about that. Nobody need to know.
There was
Whoops.
a webcomic I saw posted on Blue Sky, and I saw it reposted by fellow show host Helix, where it's like me trying to do a speedrun trick. And in the webcomic was someone kneeling in front of their fridge with like a 12-pack of soda, being like, "Hey, look, I can check out this trick I've got for getting all the cans in at once." So you gotta open both flaps, and the second the character opened both flaps, all the cans just come spilling out onto the floor. It's like, I messed up my trick.
Oh, I did it again. You did actually happen again. And the grapes again. I'm getting deja vu. Hold on. I'm getting total deja vu right now. That's exactly how I messed it up in practice. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything is not fine.
No.
All right. Okay. It's whatever.
That was literally how that practice was. Like, with grape and all.
Just
Oh my god.
the whole chase, you could just play the Sonic drowning music, and it would be perfect.
So apparently, if you tap, also I messed that up again. Also, shout outs to more grapes. All right, this is fine. This is not
no,
fine.
it's not.
Oh my god. Okay, so if you're on the path blade, oh, I can just, whatever. They're gonna get in my way. If you're on the path blade and you tap up while you go past that ladder, you get on the ladder. You don't want to press up there. I just did twice in a row. All right, you know what? Here, stop breaking the pots.
They're not even pots, they're boxes.
That's either I'm just
Shoutouts to grapes, by the way.
Oh my god. I can say, by the way, with full confidence, I've never messed that room up that bad before. Like, never. It's never happened.
He said the thing.
Until now.
He said the thing. That's never happened.
It's fine, because I'm just not going to make any more mistakes for the rest of the run. It's fine.
You sure?
It's just, yes. No.
Bet.
Shh. And whatever you do, don't remind me if I do make another mistake that I said that.
What he means is he likes being reminded that he said that.
Okay, so this is actually a pretty cool fight if I do it right. Go. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, that second one is the can be the problem, but water tile being water tile once again. Water block.
Water
whatever.
block is so good.
Jay, I just want to let you know, I was sitting here chewing on something, and I was like, when you said "don't remind me," I was about to ask Siri to remind me.
Well, you can be thankful, chat, that Ice did not just set off a bunch of your series. Alright, so distance echoes come in pretty handy here. I didn't mention distance echoes at all, by the way. So after Jabul Ruins, we got access to distance echoes. If you hold in Y, it will place an echo, like, pretty far away, instead of directly in front of it, which is pretty useful, especially for rooms like that where it's, you know, required. Yeah, we really only use it... Well, not only, no. I actually used it during the flying tile chains that we did before we entered the castle as well. But this room is going to be another example of tile jumping as well. If I get down onto the bottom half of the room and use one there, all you need is one to get all the way across and up high enough to that platform. Tight little jump there to reach that switch. So we're basically doing this backwards, by the way. We're supposed to be approaching this room from the other direction. Like the staircase in the previous room is supposed to get you to the other side of this room, if I recall correctly. And then you approach that chest from the other side. But if you have the echoes to do it, you can just get up there without doing that at all. Which, by the way, you can do that with just beds as well. So like, you don't... It's not like you need a certain echo. You can do it with beds too.
Also, rest in peace 2024 to Meatbird, which lasted like a week and a half.
Oh yeah.
Shoutouts to Meatbird.
There's probably there's something about the phrase "if you have the echoes to do it." It sounds almost threatening. So chat, who's got the echoes to throw down a Prime Gaming sub right now? But no, seriously, just a reminder to everyone that you are supporting GDQ Hotfix directly if you give us subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs to other folks in the community, and share bits here on the GDQ Twitch channel. It does all help support GDQ Hotfix and allows us to keep doing these shows. So if you enjoy watching speedruns, do consider subscribing to the channel. You'll get access to our emotes, which they are all wonderful, including the most important one, GDQ Bed, which you should be spamming throughout most of this run. And you can chat with our other subscribers during our replays.
Okay, so here's... remember Echo Ganon from the very start of the run? Well, he's back.
And he sounds like Super Boo when he yells angrily.
What about
this fight? If I do it, if I do this fight correctly, it's actually pretty scripted. So I'm trying to just do the same thing every time here, mostly. Ignozols are actually super useful because they attract the fire bats. But there's one point in particular here in this fight that's super important, and I'm going to go for it. It's a strat. Basically, if I jump spin, or if I spin jump at the right time, I can end the stun volley phase immediately. And I missed it. Okay, I was too close to my thing. Okay, so that complicates things a little bit. Also makes it I need energy. Yeah, it's nice to just like kind of chill and put the Ignizel in front of you and let the bats just go into them.
Like a moth to a flame.
Yep. But yeah, the volley phases in this game are actually like oddly kind of difficult compared to other Zelda games. Like normally you have like a pretty wide window to do it. In this game, you only have like a couple of frames.
They're rough.
Yeah, especially when it gets going really fast like that. Oh, hello. Also, grabbing the trident and doing that is really nice for stunning him. This should be good. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so... It's just like every other boss fight so far. Not ideal, but we got through it. Like, basically every single boss has been like that so far.
I think,
Excuse me.
this Hyrule Castle completion puts us at about the halfway point in the game, and also a great time to take a wellness break, because this is a long run. So, did you want to pause the timer after the cutscene? I assume we want to pause the timer right after this cutscene, right?
Yeah. If we're all taking like a stretch and wellness break, like I am down to pause the timer and take ourselves a nice break.
All right. So we are going to be taking a wellness break in just a moment after this cutscene ends. How long is this cutscene? Because all of them are fairly long.
It's a couple minutes. It's like well, there are actually two cutscenes that are separated by a very small amount of movement to like the king's room. So there should be like right after we actually portal out here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pause the timer on the very first text box of the cutscene, and then I'll start mashing when we get back.
Sounds good.
Hmm?
But this is going to be y'all's time to get up, walk around, stretch your legs, please, and get some water or some food if you need it, because we've got another good chunk of run coming up ahead of us. I'm also going to take care of myself, but just a reminder to everyone that if you would like to support GDQ Hotfix, we do have a 2024 Season 4 shirt at the yeti.com/GDQ. While the AGDQ shirts are no longer available, the yeti.com still has a Hotfix shirt, and purchases of that shirt do directly support GDQ. So we really appreciate all of your support over the months, the years, however long even the days, however long you've been watching. We appreciate you being here and missed out on any of our shows or events, especially if you're brand new. If you discovered us during AGDQ 2025, be sure to check out our YouTube for VODs and VODs and VODs of past events and all of our Hotfix shows. They have been archived. You can watch, through the ages. So we're gonna pause the timer here, and we're gonna take our quick break. So don't turn that dial. We'll be right back in just a. Hello everyone, welcome back to episode 35 of Passion Project, the speedrunning and gaming variety show that encourages anyone and everyone in the speedrun and competitive gaming communities to showcase their passions in games. My name is Amber Cypher, and I'm joined once again by TGH and their commentator Ice Blue, as we're blitzing through. We've already blitzed through the first half of Echoes of Wisdom. We've got the whole second act of the game to get through, and this is the glitchless category, which means you're going to get to see all of the movement tech that there is to offer, and none of the glitches. So we just wrapped up Hyrule Castle, and I'm going to turn it over to you, Jay.
Yeah, I'm going to get started at the count of 3. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so... yeah, effectively, just like Amber just said, this marks the second half of the run starting right now. So the run is pretty much exactly half over. That's about all I had to say there. But basically, yeah, these cutscenes are a fair bit of length. And then after this, we're gonna leave Hyrule Castle, go up to the north to get the Eternal Forest waypoint, which is gonna become important later for 2 reasons. And then we're gonna warp to the Scrubton warp that we got earlier on our way to Jabul Waters, in order to do some Faron wetland stuff.
We also have an important sound effect coming up too.
Another one. Does General Wright say that? Yeah, I guess he does. Yes, he does. We also have an important echo to get as well. We're sleeping on it currently. It is the most slept on echo in this run. Anyway,
Can we cancel the show?
yeah. Yes. Okay, so Zelda's bed lets you heal. You can actually heal with the old bed as well, the bed that we currently have. However, it only does half a heart at a time. However, Zelda's bed is actually really, really good because it heals 2 hearts at a time. You can also use that menu to Flying Tile, because that's our next echo. So pretty soon, after Faron Temple, we're going to be getting level 3 sword. Level 3 sword lets you fire beams, but only if you're at full health. So it's kind of like Zelda 1, except the beams are totally overpowered in this game. When you're in Sword Fighter form, that is. By the way, all this is when you're in Sword Fighter form. When we have level 3 sword, we can fire beams, but only when we're at full health. So having that bed, there are points where we do either take intentional damage or just we really don't have a choice but to take damage sometimes. I'm looking at you, Slime Eye. So basically, we really want Zelda's bed. It takes 5 seconds to get, and it'll save you way more over the course of a run normally than that. So I think right now we're at 14 might crystals. So the Blossu's Rift will give us 16, and Faron Temple will give us 21, and we need 20 to get level 3 swords. So we'll be able to get level 3 sword directly after Faron Temple. And level 3 sword becomes immediately useful. Like, there's actually a reason we do Faron first. You could do any of these last 3 dungeons in any order. But we definitely do them in this order for a reason. Level 3 sword saves a lot of time, both in Eldin and also before Eldin Temple.
Specifically that Lizalfos den.
Oh yeah, the Lizalfos, yeah, they cower at the level 3 sword for sure. And then Lanayru, we just want as much like tri-power as we can for Lanayru, because Slime Eye is a lot easier with 5 Ice Octos rather than 4 at a time. We'll get into that when we get there. But first, we'll go up and grab this waypoint. That's what a Beyblade travel looks like when they don't run into each other after you spawn multiple of them.
I love the movements around these areas.
Yeah. Pathblade actually looks really fast. It actually kind of only saves a little bit of time. In fact, it only saves time if you're moving 8 tiles at once or more. And that's not including the time it takes to menu to them. So it's only really useful or like time saving if you have it equipped for a pretty long period of time and can use it for a bunch of movements at once. Or a bunch of movements like in succession. Like right here, there's a very small section here that saves a bit of time, and then we do it on the way back as well. But if we were just using it like before we got the Eternal Forest waypoint or directly after it and not both of them, it probably wouldn't save time at all.
I think this cutscene specifically right here is probably one of my favorite cutscenes in the all dungeons run.
Oh
Because
yeah, this is yeah.
when you get this cutscene, you have already beaten this dungeon, so like the front door is open, and like this entire dialogue tries like, we need to find a way into this temple, and Try just goes through the open door and he's like, I think I found the way. You're just like, yes, yes, thank you, Try.
Oops. Yeah, and Chai's like, look at the huge rift, and there's just no rift. Alright, meanwhile, this poor Deku Scrub's house has been destroyed. So, we're about to fix this rift to get it back. Just kidding. His house stays destroyed. Spoilers.
I love how much like this rift has evolved as far as like strats go.
Oh yeah. Like, yeah, it's been through a bunch of different iterations of strats going through it.
We found so many different ways to like route through this without it being like awful.
Yeah, like we used to use Ignazole and Gustmaster to like break the web and gain height, respectively. But now we just kind of do everything with Bombfish instead. If I can menu properly, there we go. Hopefully not get eaten by this either of these flowers. Actually, I was a little late with that
Baba
movement.
is coming.
Okay.
Oh, that was close.
So Bombfish takes 3 seconds to explode after it touches anything, including the ground. So we can use that knowledge to just do that. We used to use Gustmaster to go like all the way up the right side there, but this is just way better to do right here. Nope. If I can get used to the fact that Bombfish is not one to the right in my menu, that would be great.
Yeah, like we originally used to like kind of like 45-degree angle or like 27-degree angle, sort of. Launch an Ignazole over there and hope that it burned down that entire forest over there.
Oops. A little extra spin for style, I guess. Alright, tricky little movement thing here with the Strantula. Get over it. There we go. So, something interesting. We used to kill that Deku Baba with Sword Fighter form, instead of just going over it. But as it turns out, that loses a lot of time to do because there's a cutscene upcoming at the end of this rift, at the end of this, like, you know, where the rift gets fixed, where you get a Might Crystal from Try. And that cutscene refills your meter. It completely refills your energy meter. But if you have just 1 pixel less than 100% energy, the cutscene takes like 3 extra seconds. So using Sword Fighter form effectively loses that amount of time. It's like that right there. If you have anything less than 100% of your energy, that cutscene will take 3 seconds longer. So just going over that Deku Baba just becomes... It just is the much better option there. Alright, so as you can see, Blossu's house is still destroyed. But he doesn't really seem to know, so that's fine. I'm not sure he ever realizes that his house is still just not there. Meanwhile, this Deku Scrub village, Scrubton has been infatuated with the product of the monster that comes from the rift being cotton candy made from spider webs. So you fixing the rift creates a bit of a problem for them in the form of there not being any more spider webs and thus no more cotton candy. So what do? They throw you in jail. So you have to escape from jail.
You ever get locked up for getting rid of like cotton candy?
Yeah, it happens a lot. Yeah, can imagine. So if you've done this part casually, this whole section here might make you a little bit angry. So trust me when I say you can just run past them all the way through, but what I did there saves about a second or so.
That one like section there took me like 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's a difficult one casually. The second section may make you more angry because it really showcases how good these guards are.
Also, shoutouts to this dialogue box here. If it's not in German when you get the tri-rod back, it's like, you got the tri-rod back. It's sticky.
It's sticky.
It's sticky.
Meanwhile, this stick you get at the beginning also has the same dialogue.
Yeah.
It's sticky.
And then Try's like, please clean off the tri-rod when you're after this.
It's fine though because we go through a water section immediately, so
Yeah.
like
clean
we
it.
dive into a well. It's like that is certainly a way to clean it. But yeah, watch this carefully. This is stealth 100 right here.
He's literally just like brushed his back.
Yeah,
and was like, hey,
these-
hey, I'm here.
These guards are very good at their job. He didn't even see me. He didn't even chase after me at all.
Kind of reminds me of
Little tiles
the
there. Oh, I'm too high.
kind of reminds me of the Oracle of Ages guards.
Oh yeah. Yeah, not much of a difference in I think that Oracle of Ages guards are actually like way better than the Deku guards. And you know what? Nobody compares to those Hyrule Castle guards. I mean, hell,
Thanks,
they caught me
Vileplume.
twice.
Oh yeah, those guards are champs.
Yeah, they caught me twice. They're very good at their jobs. And I'm not so good at mine, as it turns out.
I mean,
Hey,
you
can
also
we-
Also, yeah,
stopped and picked up like a strand of grapes and was like, "Oh my god, grapes!"
Someone in your Discord has posted grapes, a gif of grapes to say post grapes to scare Jay.
I'm getting flashbacks to like the Yiga clan in Breath of the Wild and like their bananas. Yeah, it's the same except it's grapes in this game, apparently.
Why'd you just walk away from the Vileplume? Why didn't you catch it?
I don't have any balls.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. I mean, you got a glowy like yellow or gold one right there. Like, is that not like the new luxury ball or something?
I think I'd need a Master Ball to catch that one. That one's pretty tricky. Yeah, I ran out of balls a while ago. Okay, so here we have the Deku Scrubs being very ignorant and also very adorable, but also very swallowed by the rift.
Oh wait,
Now
wait,
these
wait.
two, remember
The
the
best
cutscene we were talking about earlier? What do you care more about, your friends or cotton candy?
It's these two.
Yep, it's these two. Yeah, that gets taken care of with just a spin slash.
You can definitely tell what scene it is with the enlarged text that comes up.
I can hear Amber laughing across the room.
What do you care more about, your friends or the cotton candy? Beep beep.
No particular reason. I'm sure.
I know why they're laughing.
Look, I'm a professional, okay? And I know when it is time for that professional to mute so they can laugh.
Yeah. Okay, so, Shoutouts to Owen who came up with this route, by the way, through this particular section. I stole this without shame. This is a very good route. If I can grab this keys, that keys does not normally get grabbed that fast. That was a really good kill. We need electric keys for a couple different things in Fair, including the boss. Or rather, we really just need an electric echo. In order to like complete like the first few rooms of Farron anyway. The game does give you Buzz Blob, but Electric Keys is just better for Goma. Which is the boss. Ow. What?
Nice.
That doesn't usually happen. That's not an Electric Keys. Oh,
That sure
boy.
isn't.
It was close, at least. I mean, it tried its best.
You
been
have
tired.
this is
I'm-
actually a good, I got a real question for you, like not memes. I have
Sure.
a genuine question.
Sure.
Do you have any advice for people getting into this category on echo management, like menu management? Because that echo menu is probably the worst thing about this game.
Okay, so the best advice I can give, because like in this, like we don't really, or at least I don't worry much about like the method of sorting the echoes. That's not gonna work. Okay, I gotta wait for the next cycle. I laid it down too early. But echo management, echo menu management. So I can at least tell you what I do when I menu, because like I can menu fairly quickly thanks to using both sticks for the menus. So like if you like, I'll like watch this menu right there. Like it's pretty. I can scroll pretty fast, right? It's because I'm using both sticks. I'm using both the right and the left stick on the on like my controller. There are two different methods you can use, including that one, to scroll very quickly. One is to hold the R bumper as you menu, and if you hold the left joystick to menu while holding the R bumper, it scrolls like twice as fast. That might be a little bit of a little-known fact about this game. In fact, like not even many speedrunners knew about it until recently. Maybe some not even until right now, while hearing this. But yeah, you can scroll pretty fast. I typically don't do that though. I find that I have more control over just using both sticks. What the game doesn't tell you is that in addition to using the right D-pad button to hold open your echo menu, you can also use the L bumper. And I exclusively use the L bumper because one second.
And handle sucks no matter what game
Okay.
it's in.
Okay, I exclusively use the L bumper because I use my right D-pad button for turbo purposes for text mashing. But basically, like I'm able to menu quickly because I'm comfortable with the menu itself. So like the best possible like all-encompassing advice I can give is to get as comfortable as you can with the method that you use to menu.
Part of my question was like mostly geared towards like, how do you make sure like keeping track of the order of your echoes? Because if I recall, like they sort by recently used by default or something.
That's just repetition. That's just like if you do the run enough, you come to know like what exactly you need to do to menu to a certain thing. Like it's as simple as that. I wish I had a better answer for that.
That's okay.
But it really is just like memorization and repetition. By the way, the strat in that room was pretty cool.
It's
half
great.
distance echo. So in addition to distance echoes, you can also do half distance echoes by just not holding down the button as long. If you just right away place one without pressing the stick at all, or without like, holding the stick anywhere, you can place a water block in exactly the right position so that spiders walk right into it. And then, since the Wizrobe is a determinate spawn, as long as you don't move, you can move over and just drown the Wizrobe immediately too.
It is 2 tiles tall or 2 blocks tall, so you need to spawn 2. But yes, it's
Yes.
great.
That didn't work. I need to kill this right away. Go. That almost got really dicey. It already was pretty awkward because the blue... Okay, so the blue heads on Manhandla, you have to fight with bombs. You don't have any other option. Like, you have to use Bombfish or, like, Lynx bombs, which, by the way, we don't have Lynx bombs. And we won't ever have... Or rather, Sword Fighter form bombs, sorry. We won't ever have Sword Fighter form bombs in this run. We don't pick those up either. So we use Bombfish for that fight. And... so basically that fight just comes down to how well spaced out the blue heads lunging at you are. And it kind of sucks, but it's Manhandla, so by default it sucks.
Yeah, worst boss.
Manhandle sucks in every game it appears in. Someone in chat said, wait, you can drown enemies with the water block? How did I never think of that?
Yes.
That was the exact reaction these two had when another runner, was it Kitamura?
Kitamura.
Yeah, Kitamura was the one who was drowning things in the water block. And the rest of the community saw that run, like, really early on into the lifespan of the speedrun and was like, didn't any of us do that?
Okay, that didn't work. Let me try that again. I don't think I had to leave the room. Oh, well. Yeah, I'm still not quite 100% used to that strat. Yeah, there we go. Still better than using 2 beds. That room has
Two
become
beds
like
be more comfortable than one bed?
Not normally. Okay, here's Goma. Basically, phase 1 and 2 are pretty scripted. Phase 3 is where it becomes interesting. What am I doing? Also, this is where blue potions are, like, downright required, because, like, you don't have much energy to spare in this fight.
And the boss does not drop energy unless it spits out eggs.
Okay, that's worked out, I guess.
Yeah, the only way to get energy from this boss is to, like, destroy the little eggs that Goma spits out.
That's not enough. Oh, it was enough. Never mind. So I'm gonna try to use Gustmaster here to get up, to get that top one first. And oh, okay. That worked. 100% planned. That's a grape. I forgot that was there. Oh my god.
The grapes strike again!
Wait, I'm spawning. Wait, what? Oh. I am not in Sword Fighter form anymore.
Spawning echoes on him.
Okay, I'm glad I didn't cost myself a cycle by doing that.
That grape is never ending.
So, yeah, once again, not ideal, but the boss is dead. So we're good.
Yes, so is that grape.
Oh my god, every boss has been the same so far. It's just like, that fight could have been a lot better, but at least we're not dead.
It could have been a lot worse.
I'm gonna die to Scorchill in this run.
Please don't say
No, that's the one boss that's gonna go right.
Maybe.
Everything
Well, at
else
least-
going absolutely wrong. Panic strats. Scorchula? Totally fine.
The grape was RNG manip, yeah, for sure. Getting it was also RNG manip.
Yeah, getting caught twice in that rift by the guards, absolutely a manipulation.
Yeah, it's gonna save us 5 minutes at the end of this run. It's not, I'm kidding. Don't take what I say seriously, like ever. Unless I
Shoutouts
say...
to grapes. Yo, shoutouts to grapes.
I swear I was talking about something. I don't remember what it was.
So, hey, chat, let me know, let me Tej and Amber know how, in your casual playthrough, how you climbed Mount Eldon.
Oh, yeah, good, Oh! That's actually what I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about the way Gustmaster works to scale walls. But go on.
Yeah, let us know how you decided to climb Mount Eldon. Because I can almost assure you that it's not the same way that we're going to climb it.
Oh, almost certainly.
As a follow-up question, and maybe I should ask this later, but how did y'all get up Mount Lanayru or Mount Hero?
Wow,
Because
was
I
so
can
good.
I can guarantee that it's not the same way that we're gonna do it.
And if you claim
Let's-
it was, I might not believe you.
Let's just
If
say
you claim it was, you've watched speedruns before. Let me just say that much.
let's just say the Lanayru climb is going to blow your mind.
I walked. Like, how'd you get there? I walked. Also, while we're gonna try that again. While we're here, if you wanted to learn more about Games Done Quick Hotfix, because we're a weekly, well, not even weekly, like almost every other day, almost every day we have shows throughout the week. We're currently on our 4th season of the Games Done Quick Hotfix. If you want to check out our season 4 schedule, you can go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix. I am very good at links, and I'm very good at English. You can check out the schedule for the in-depth look at this week's runs, especially what's coming up tomorrow, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, for Do All the Things in Parallel Universe. And maybe you can also see what our special events are. But also, if you join the GDQ Discord, you can add the Hotfix live notification roles to yourself as well, and be able to find out what our schedules are through the Discord as well. If you don't want to be on certain social media sites, you are probably a healthier person if you are not on social media, and I understand. But you can also follow GDQ on social media as well, and get plenty of updates about things like Hotfix, mainline events, Frame Fatales, Back to Black, which is coming up. Back to Black 2025 is actually coming up on February 6th through the 9th. That's going to be the upgrade to Unapologetically Black and Fast. It's also going to be here on the Games Done Quick Twitch channel, benefiting Race Forward. It's the first time it is a charity event. So if you want to catch the action and support an incredible cause, I have no idea what I was going to combo support and incredible into. You could type !BTB in chat to see the event schedule. Tell me what you want to see. And if you want to find out more about the all-black speedrunning community, you can also find out more about them by typing !BAF.
All right, it's level 3 sword time. So now that we have enough might crystals, we are upgrading to level 3 sword, and right after we do the Darston Rift on Elven Volcano, like, we're about to see just how good the level 3 sword is. So we now have access to beams. As long as we're at full health, we have access to beams, which means from this point on, well, it's not extremely important, but it saves a lot of time to not take damage throughout pretty much this whole section. By the way, Pathblade time.
Whee!
Alright. So we chain 3 Pathblades. Or it's not like chaining, it's just using 3 of them. And we use the last one to get up on this tree. And all of a sudden we're here. So now Gustmaster scaling, which is what I'm going to call it, because it's the thing I thought to call it just now. Doesn't really have a name, but it is the way we scale Mount Eldon to get up to.
Why don't we just call it Gustwallen?
Gustwallen. So this is actually really easy to do. So if you place a Gustmaster directly behind you, bind it, go up against the wall, and then jump as soon as the Gustmaster starts blowing out wind, you will just skyrocket up the wall. So we're about to do that in some pretty specific places here, namely right here. To get up to here, and we just wait for it to blow again, jump, and now we're here.
Yeah, we definitely saw this strat and we're like, all right, to heck with all these caves.
Yeah. How did we do that before? I think we used like
Bed launches
before.
Bed launches.
Oh yeah, because this is where tornado cost goes down.
Yep.
Oh man, yep,
It was just
Yeah.
I hope I get up this mountain.
yep. All right, so who remembers the crying Goron kid from Majora's Mask? He's back,
Don't remind me.
Just play
but
Goron's Lullaby.
only one soundbite at a time this time though, and not just the same repeated soundbite. Thankfully.
Just play Goron's Lullaby.
Someone in chat says that they used a spider to climb up.
Right, that is a totally valid way to do it. Yes.
Yeah?
Or, yeah, that's actually how we do it in all dungeons.
Y'all went back
Because
to
we
that
don't-
strat?
Oh yeah, that strat never
Oh.
left.
Ugh.
Also, Gustmaster is just really, really good to use in general. That's not how you do that.
Would have lost my mind if that bomb blast would have blew up the tile.
That might be I think that's the first time we've actually used Gustmaster in the run to, like, gain height on its own without the aid of something else, like a wall, for instance. So, basically what I'm doing... Actually, I'll explain this first, and then I'll explain Gustmaster, because it'll be relevant later. So, I'm going to use a little bit of vertical momentum here to mess up that trick. That's cool. It's fine, so this will be a little slow, but oh well. Now here, I can use vertical momentum while binding the bomb to, there we go. Break that row below the bomb. So I'm basically like going 2 rows down instead of just 1. That's what was supposed to happen the first time, but I didn't quite nail it.
I think I've told you this, but that section or sections that look like that remind me of like the digging screens in Super Mario Brothers 2 USA.
Yeah, kind of. They're similar. I think they're a little more tedious in Echoes because you have to use bombs instead of just digging them.
Someone else in chat says, for this particular mountain, I actually used plat boomers and flying tiles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, there is a way to gain essentially infinite height with plat boom, which is pretty cool. Right, so Gustmaster tech. Okay, so you'll see me occasionally. In fact, I might do it right here just to showcase it. I would ordinarily use flying tile, but I might do it right here just to showcase it for the run. So you can gain a bunch of height with just a Gustmaster. So basically what you want to do is you want to place a Gustmaster, you want to target the Gustmaster that you place, jump as soon as it starts to like open up to blow air, and then bind it. And what will happen when you bind it is you will gain height along with the Gustmaster, because the Gustmaster will be blowing you upwards, and it'll go up with you because you're binding it. The result is you just gaining a bunch of height. And that's useful in a couple of different places, including that particular rift right there that we just finished. Ordinarily here I'd use Flying Tile to get up to the Los Alfos Burrow, which is where we're heading to next, to complete this sort of like chain of side quests here. But I'm going to use Gustmaster here just to show off what this looks like. After Darston stops talking, that is, because we still have about a minute left before we have control.
He's just a Goron with a lot to say. And he has eyebrows.
He does
Very-
have eyebrows.
Very expressive eyebrows. You could probably use those eyebrows as flying tiles to get up the mountain.
You could. Also, chat, if you have ever speedrun a Zelda game or would think about speedrunning a Zelda game, what Zelda game would you choose? And, Jay, since you've speedrun literally every 2D Zelda, what's your favorite 2D Zelda run that you
My
have done?
favorite 2D Zelda run, I think, to this day, remains Link's Awakening DX. it's just a really good balance of like tech and movement optimization and just like I don't know. I'm a huge and glitches. I like a little
Except
bit of
for
glitchiness
Goomba
in my
surfing.
runs. Except for Goomba surfing can be nixed for all I care. But,
Everything else in that game is phenomenal, except for Goomba surfing.
behold the power of beams, by the way. Those Lizalfos never stood a chance.
Someone said definitely Twilight Princess. I would probably speedrun Link to the Past. LADX for the win. Rockin' game beyond belief.
LADX is broken, but the category that I like to run is not nearly as broken as something like any percent. Or anything with no restrictions. Any percent, no wrong rope, not a bounds is definitely the best category for that game.
Someone says I've speedrun A Link Between Worlds before. One person wants to know why would you run DX over the original?
They're actually two completely different speedruns, believe it or not.
They are.
And I just prefer DX. The routes are completely different. DX just feels like a more complete run to me, personally.
LA's run is very weird. It's just rush, magic rod, and despawn bosses.
1, 2, 3, 4. Too slow.
I declare a thumb war.
Oh my god, please. That's not how it's supposed to look. Basically,
Yeah, we're getting some bed rest today.
I guess I was a little slow on that one, but that would have been a good place to show how beams and your slash actually stack together. If I were a little faster, my shot in that room is to have the Lizalfos approach me, and then once it gets close to me, slash beam it, so that they stack together. But that's not what happened.
Link's Awakening DX is the so on the Game Boy there was Link's Awakening, and then when the Game Boy Color came out, Link's Awakening DX was an enhanced version. It was a black cart, which meant it could be run on backwards compatible, or it could be backwards compatible with the Game Boy Pocket and the original brick Game Boy, but it was meant to be played on the Game Boy Color, where there was an enhanced color dungeon that was unique to that game, and it had a full color gameplay, obviously, and a couple of little extras here and there. But it does mean deluxe, Link's Awakening Deluxe.
So this room right here, the Rock Roast Quarry is what it's called, Rock Roast Quarry. I can skip a cutscene here with Darstan. I can skip some text if I grab the rock roast in the corner of the room from far enough away. It's pretty tight, so we'll see if we can get this. I gotta stand right about here, grab that, place it there, and run right into the Zol. That's important. That's important. Trust me. Minips. Good thing I rested in the bed, huh?
Trust me, I'm a speedrunner.
That would have been a really funny way to die if I didn't. Just like, watch this, I'm gonna do this, and I'm dead.
Cue the Link's Awakening spin dying noise.
I can't even do it. I kind of like the way you die in this game. That might sound weird out of context, but like, just I like in this game and Link's Awakening too. It's like you get hit for your final like hit to die in this game. The whole game just freezes except for Zelda just dying, and it just feels so bad. But it's so good at the same time. It's just like It's the opposite of cinematic, but that almost kind of makes it cinematic, if that makes sense. It's just funny. It's funny if you're not the one playing, I guess.
Someone else says that they would run Link's Awakening Switch Remake, but not any percent because of the very difficult glitches that they'd have to execute. Due to vision and hearing impairments, that category would be made extra difficult. So there are definitely more accessible categories. In fact, they The community hated the Hinox warp glitch so much, and it had hindered the growth of the community so much. Like, people just dropped the game when Hinox warp was found, because it was so egregious that they ended up making a any percent no Hinox warp category. They were like, yeah, no, this can go away. It's not fun.
There's always
we
glitchless
were
too.
two contributing members to that.
There's always glitchless too for Link's Awakening. Like glitchless is fun.
You could check
Very
out
very
the
movement heavy category.
yeah, you could check out the glitchless race between TGH and Glan from which GDQ was it?
I
SGDQ
don't
22.
remember.
It was
Also,
22.
this is really funny right here. Check out the reactions these Gorons have to me placing this flying tile. Ah!
Yeah, I remember it was SGDQ 2022 because I couched for a couple of runs for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was me and Birdman Drew on the comms for that race. That race
Yeah.
was very good.
Oh, that race was so good. I remember. Like, I mean, we were like 5 seconds apart, weren't we, or something like that?
Something
that
like
race
that,
was
yeah.
ridiculously close. That was wild. Alright, so a really good showcase here of tile jumping. Very simple tile jumping. All you need is just one, or rather two. Yeah, we basically just use tile jumping to skip this entire room.
Yeah, the game wants you to like use like a flying enemy to like ride like the vents up, but we don't want to do that.
Yeah, this is one of the coolest looking 2D section rooms in the whole game, too. Am I too high? I am too high. So there's that Gustmaster tech I was telling you about, except in 2D. I think it looks cooler in 2D. Alright, so we are about to enter Stilled Elden Volcano and Elden Temple thereafter.
One of my favorite dungeons.
The music is really good here.
Yeah.
I'm still mulling over in my head whether or not it actually fits the dungeon, but a big part of me just doesn't really care either way because the song is really good. You might see what I mean. You might hear what I mean, like when you hear the music. If you haven't heard this music before,
Chat, do you like violins?
Love violins. That's what chat sounds like in my head. Well, actually, but oh.
okay, so this room right here is big on the tile jumping and the tile chaining and whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really have a name, to be honest with you. We just, like... I called it tile juggling at first. I don't know where that went. But basically, yeah, using the flying tile to, like, get and keep height. It's like we just use the flying tile once to get to this platform here. And then from here, 1, 2, 3, 4. I messed it up. Alright, we'll do it from here then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fine. You can call that a recovery if you want. I mean, that used to be the strat that I used, but I guess it serves now as a recovery to if you fail the first time.
You keep getting to 1, 2, 3, 4, and then cutting yourself off, and I'm just like, I declare a thumb war.
I don't know how to count past 4, I think is the issue.
You gotta stop thumb wrestling the game, Jay.
I can only count to 4. I can only count to... Sorry.
You can only count to 4.
I'm not doing the Screamo part. Okay. So... This is the part I was talking about really, really early, where we keep flying tile equipped for like a full minute here. Also, nifty little jump there to hit that. lava rock, which we don't get. We don't get the echo for it, but
We used to.
this room looks cool. Because Zelda, if you do it right, Zelda's just standing in the lava. If you notice too, I used a little bit of a like an echo despawn cancel movement to actually time my movement through that room so I don't do it too fast. I almost touched that lava geyser. That would have been funny. All right, here's a rock roast. Time to shine.
And that was it for the rock roast.
Yep, that was it. Funny how, as a result of that, it doesn't become more roasted.
It's rock.
I guess you're right.
Also, as we pick up this item here, or this small key here, just want to remind everyone that you are watching Passion Project. If you're brand new and you discovered us through GDQ 2025 and you happen to be enjoying the Hotfix content, Passion Project is the variety show, and we encourage anyone and everyone in the speedrun and competitive gaming communities to showcase their passion projects. So whether that is your favorite category to run in a game, like how glitchless is TGH's favorite Echoes of Wisdom category.
That still got me.
Okay, wow.
Or maybe you like speedrunning games with weird controllers, which I've done, as well as our next guest on Friday the 24th, Nico Hart, who's going to be speedrunning Undertale with a bicycle as the controller. You heard that right.
You did hear that right.
Yeah, we just enjoy people who really want to show off the things that they love the most to
good
the
pattern
rest of
there.
you. Very good pattern, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a really good example. That fight takes a lot longer if you don't have beams, because I'm essentially dealing more than double the amount of damage that I normally would with just a slash. By
Everybody
stacking... Yeah,
Everybody
by
wave goodbye to the bombs.
Yep, see you later, bombs.
Never
We
to
straight
be
up
seen
don't
again.
need them. Like, they're not necessary. And they're not faster than anything else we do with bombfish.
Speaking of,
It's really funny. We skip the bombs and we just use bombfish in the very next room. Just to add insult to injury. Alright, so I'm gonna stand right here, let him spawn, and then alright. It's fine, it worked out.
I'm gonna
It's
let
fine.
him spawn and then
It's like that's an above average fight if I'm being real.
don't do like I did one time and grab the key and not the whiz robe.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And
I
then
remember
had
that.
to fight.
You had to fight Scorcho with Ignazol.
oh, I think I remember this.
That was a fun fight, having to jump constantly and just spawn a billion Ignazols.
What's really funny though is that now in all dungeons we actually use Ignazol in the Scorchel fight.
That's actually
Of course, we only use it on phase 1 because any other phase besides that is unreliable. But we'll meet Scorchel later.
sooner than you think.
Also,
But
this is a strat that I found just recently too. Instead of using water block to kill this Gyro, which we do want the Gyro Echo, we just use this guy on the way
God.
down, and it's like you're not losing any time by just doing that. And trust me, he's gonna die. I hope, actually.
I can't wait for you to get back up there. And
I
the
can't
Ghost
wait
Gyro's still
to see
alive.
that Gyro alive when I get back up there. Really hope
Yeah, but
that's not
the
case.
Gyro Echo is going to be very, very important for our Mount Laneru climb.
Here we go. So a good like, well, actually, this is really the only time we use Gyro as a normal flyer in the run. But I'm gonna do that in this run, in this excuse me, in this room right here. But yeah, Gyro, it's like I said, Gyro shines a little bit later in this run, like a tiny, tiny bit later.
So just a little bit.
Right after Elden Temple.
It only saves like 4.5 minutes.
See, here we have Volvagia. In other words, time for announcements if anyone has any.
I'm sure I can figure something out. You know, like GDQ's next all-women and femme speedrunning event. That's Frost Fatales 2025. That's going to be live from March 9th through the 16th, and that benefits the National Women's Law Center. If you want more information on the event, you can go to gamesdonequick.com/frame fatales. You can also see the schedule there, and that just came out today. So if you want to see the schedule for Frost Fatales, take a look at that. That's once again gamesdonequick.com/frame fatales. Let us know on social media or in Twitch chat or in YouTube comments if you're watching the YouTube VOD of this video, what you want to see or what you're most excited about. I'm personally excited to see Snowball SMB, who ran for the Sonic block this past AGDQ. She is once again running for Frost Fatales and will be running a Cassette Beasts and another Sonic run with Amy. I believe it's Sonic Mania? I'd have to double check. But the games list is out. There's a lot of wonderful people on that list. Many people I know, many people I have seen run in other events. And they are all fantastic, so definitely check that out. Wow, this boss still isn't done, huh? Alright, well, if you'd like to support GDQ Hotfix, you can check out the 2024 Season 4 t-shirt at theyeti.com/GDQ. That directly supports Games Done Quick, and that would be very, very generous of you. And you get a swaggy shirt that has all of the show logos. So if your favorite show is Passion Project, or any of the shows that we've had on for this season, that's a great show, a great show to pick up, a great shirt to pick up. It also features the Hotfix mascot Coop, the little Triceratops. Coop's great. We need a Coop plush. We have a Velocity plush that we have during mainline events that's sold through the Yeti. I want a Coop plush, I want a Faith plush. We just gotta get a collection. Alright, the boss is done!
Yeah,
GG!
so that, okay, so that boss is a step shy of an auto-scroller. I call it that because if I called it an auto-scroller, I would mess it up immediately. But you know the drill.
Like
but
dying in
I kind of did mess up that
Sky
last cycle, but you didn't see that. It's fine. You didn't even notice, right? But Volvagia is a really good example of how powerful the level 3 sword is. It really just kind of spoke for itself. That fight is very, very simple. Break the amulet with beams by just targeting the amulet, and then hit him between 4 and 5 times, and you're done. And it's damage capped, by the way. Each cycle is damage capped, so I can't deal more damage in one cycle than it's just a certain amount of damage. So, yep, only thing you can do is just hit him a few times and move on to the next cycle, and that's it. Do I want to grab this heart or no? We have like 4 minutes to think about it.
I say no.
All right. We have 4 minutes to change our minds. This is a cutscene upcoming that we affectionately refer to as Din's life story.
Oh, this is Din's life story, right?
Yeah. So the second dungeon that you complete between Eldin Farron and Lanayru will give you the whole spiel about the final boss/villain of the game, Null. Or Nile, as it is in German. And no, I'm not reading this.
Oh, you sure?
You can't skip this text, which is why it's called Din's life story. It wouldn't be that bad if you could skip it.
You know, I've done a lot of announcing myself throughout this run because there's so much downtime. Why don't you talk about yourself? What do you do outside of GDQ? What do you run? What have you done? Where have you been?
Oh boy, so I've
Give us
kinda been all over the
TGH's life
place on the
story.
internet. Um, so basically, like I'm a 2D Zelda speedrunner at heart. That is like my main thing. Basically, my main like just the main thing I've done on the internet. Basically, speedrun 2D Zelda with some other stuff peppered in, but mainly 2D Zelda speedrunning. If you like 2D Zelda speedrunning, I don't intend on stopping anytime soon. I've been running Echoes of Wisdom. I'm gunning for a sub 330 in this category. My PB right now is 3 hours, 30 minutes, and 5 seconds, which is a pretty painful threshold to be sitting at, or a pretty painful benchmark, rather, but that's why we're going for a sub 330. But that's about all I got. Ice, how about you?
Oof. That's a loaded question. I am also a 2D Zelda speedrunner, but I've also been branching out into more bizarre games, such as like RPGs. Like
I was gonna say, I've always viewed you as more of a RPG runner rather than necessarily a Zelda runner.
I mean, I started out with strictly Zelda, like Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Link to the Past.
Yeah.
And then I started branching out to like Super Mario RPG. I branched out to I'm learning Dragon Quest 3, the 2D HD, which one. But I also play a lot of randos as well. A lot of randos.
True.
I'm always trying to
probably find a
convince
rando.
Jay I'm always trying to convince Jay to run some kind of rando with me. Which
We gotta do some randos together.
When's our first multi-world together? All three of us.
Soon.
I'd be
In
down
my
to async
opinion.
it.
Oh yeah, an async I can definitely swing, because I've tried pairing Sonic Adventure 2 with Link to the Past, for example. It's okay, but it's like Link to the Past is just always left waiting for things. Like it BKs really fast, or it gets locked out of being able to find more items really fast, and is just stuck waiting to receive things from other players. And Sonic Adventure 2 is not necessarily a fast archipelago game. For folks who don't know what I'm talking about, it's Archipelago. It's a multi-world randomizer. Go to archipelago.gg. You'll find out more information on
Wait,
that.
hold on. We got
Okay,
really
watch-
cool tech here.
Watch closely. This is Gust Gyro time. The way these two echoes interact with each other is absolutely hilarious.
So I can almost guarantee that you have not climbed Mount Lanayru like this.
Yeah, if you claim that you did, of course, without
You're
watching
lying.
a speedrun, you're lying. But yeah, so if you place a Gustmaster directly behind you, hold up a gyro and walk into the Gustmaster, you'll just gain height. You'll just like straight up gain height. Just because of the way the Gustmaster and the gyro interact with each other. It's not a glitch, or else we wouldn't do it. We wouldn't do it in whatchamacallit, in glitchless.
I'm laughing.
I forgot the name of the category.
I'm laughing at the fact that they named it Mid-Kips and not Mud-Kips.
Mid-kips. Oh my god.
I mean, compared to Wooper, Mudkip is mid.
Mudkip is not mid, but compared to Wooper.
Shoutouts to the best character in Echoes of Wisdom right here, Conde.
Oh yeah, welcome to Conde's Condo. Where we get the grand tour. We quite literally get the grand tour of his house.
Look, remember, I say
Yeah,
mid.
shout out to Conde.
When I say mid, I actually mean average, mediocre. I don't mean bad. I hate the fact that people use mid to, like, mean bad.
Yeah, same. It's not what the word means.
I'm sorry, Wooper's better. It's the better axolotl, baby.
It's also a relative term. Just because something is mid doesn't mean it's not good.
We
guess.
love Conde. Changing the subject back.
We do. Speaking of mid, Conde is not mid.
You know, if someone were to mod the game to change his skin color to blue, we'd have the Yeti.
Oh, we would. Yeah, we definitely would.
You hear that, modders? At Owen Splat. kidding, by the way.
High consent. Wow, that's autocorrect at its best right there. that is I know when I see autocorrect.
Yeah,
Very well. Very
TGH
well,
would know.
familiar.
TGH is sponsored by autocorrect.
I should be. I should be. I wish.
I bless autocorrect.
Yo, check out this this mountain climb. This is pretty good.
Oh, not
So
quite
instead of going into the cave here to get to the rift that we need to do, we're just gonna take the scenic route.
Yeah. And that's just way faster than entering. I still haven't checked to see if you can go up the opposite way. I keep wanting to check that if you can, like, after you like clear this rift, if you can just like gust master upwards from here, even though, like, I don't know. That might be stretching it.
You should try it right now.
I should. You know what? I will. I'm
Are we doing science live on stream?
I might be doing science on GDQ Hotfix. This is passion project after all. Keyword project. But first, this rift is actually really cool because we just kind of drag this Ignazole around. Because it saves menus to do it this way. So this means we can just keep flying tile equipped without having to menu back and forth.
Oh, that's... Wait till you see the other half of this mountain climb, Magic.
Ugh. Yeah, you haven't seen anything yet. As cliche as it might sound, you haven't actually seen anything yet. That's like we the way we get up the mountain, like all the way up the mountain. There's also a strat to kill the Ice Wizard as well. That's pretty cool.
Thank you for doing that to that Moblin, by the way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That Moblin
Get out of here.
deserves that.
The Ignazole is just like, so you're wondering how I got in this situation, I'll bet. Yeah,
Alright,
I'm
science time.
legitimately gonna try. It won't be for another minute or two, but
Yeah, we gotta talk to best character.
But yeah, so after we finish this whole Rift cutscene sequence thing, there's a lot that's going to be happening in a short amount of time. So I'm going to go over it kind of right now. First off, we're going to be Gus Gearoing up the mountain. And Gus Gear is going to get us all the way up, or as far up as it can. We can't actually go all the way up Mount Hebra to like the top of Mount Lanayru because they're actually on two separate loading screens. So
Yeah.
we have to go like to the second highest layer and then go through a cave to get through to the top layer.
Do you still make the pit stop for Ice Wizard?
Ice Wizard, yes.
Okay.
Yep. So, are there any New Englanders in the chat? Because the strat that I use, the light is there. Like, the light is shining down very clearly. I wonder if I can just Cust Master up there.
Time to find out.
We are going to find out right now.
Nope.
No. The ceiling is like 2 feet high. Okay, never mind.
Well,
Yeah,
it's ruined.
It was worth a shot, right? If I go overestimate by 3 seconds, I'm blaming it on that. Okay, so we're to Gus Gear up the mountain. If there are any New Englanders in chat, the strat that I'm about to use here is called Dunkin' Iced.
The former Boston native. This checks out.
So Ice Wizard is actually extremely useful for Scorchill, the boss of Lanayru Temple. And the way we kill this Wizrobe is very funny. That's Duncan iced.
That strat has seen so many different iterations.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, that's how we get up Mount Lanero.
Yeah, we have to hit this cutscene. If not,
Yeah.
if you go up to the top, Conde is just not there.
Well, it's not. Yeah, Conde's not there. The rift is there, but the entrance to the rift is not. You have to see every Conde cutscene in order to have that rift be openable. Not like I'm complaining.
Yeah, welcome to how we climb Mount Hebra. When
Alright,
we
so look at
when
this. This is a
we
little
discovered Gus Giro, we were going mad.
Okay, that's fine.
Shout out to Tiles breaking giant snowballs.
Yeah, seriously. Flying Tile is just the do everything echo. It really is. The only thing it doesn't do is, like, effectively fight enemies.
I was gonna say damage.
It does damage.
It does one.
Yeah.
Chat,
It even does damage. Asterisk, 1 damage.
chat, if you've played this game, so I know some folks have not yet played this game, but if you have played this game, or maybe you've watched a lot of gameplay of it, what's your favorite echo?
If it's not Flying Tile, I need you to reconsider.
I mean, that's a
Well,
pretty good
that's-
contender.
If you thought Gus Giro was done, wait till you see Gus Giro 2 in this one.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, we're definitely not done with Gus Giro. We do it,
Couple more times.
yeah, I'll do it once more for sure. Twice more for sure, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say here and then Hyrule Rift, right?
I believe so, yeah. I do. Oh, that's not, you didn't see that.
Clip it. Clip it and ship it.
A lot of people are either flying tile or bed. One person says shrub and tree. Shrub/tree. In addition to tile and bled. Tile and bled. Tile and bed.
Bled.
Bed is a respectable answer. It is.
A couple of people mentioned crows.
R.I.P. Meat Bird.
Crow is interesting. Yeah, we used to do a strat here called Meat Bird. You might have heard us like talk about it, where you hold up a meat, like a piece of meat, and then you reverse bind a crow so that it chases the meat, but the crow is flying towards the meat that you're holding, and it just makes you fly across the map. We used to do that to actually get to Lanayru Temple here. But then Gus Giro happened, and Gus Giro kind of said, yeah, no more Meat Bird. So Lanayru Temple is pretty cool, actually. This is one of my favorite dungeons. The mechanic is really neat. So it revolves around this like orb that you can make either fire or ice mode, and that activates these fans. Orb.
Orb?
That is what it's called. Yes.
Orb.
Orb. Yes.
Orb.
It is an orb. Yes.
Orb.
Okay, I guess I just wasn't gonna get to explain that. That's fine.
You're not allowed, no.
Shout outs to that tile just like decapitating that like ice.
Oh yeah, headshot by the way.
Yeah.
How fast is any percent unrestricted compared to glitchless? I believe it's like 3 hours faster or something
100%.
like that.
It is legit 3 hours.
I think
faster, yeah.
record is 33 minutes, 34 minutes.
I think that's about right, because I was looking at the leaderboards like a day or two ago.
Yeah, Ruben. I think Ruben's gotten it down to 33.
Even all dungeons is less than half the length of this category.
Yeah.
But I still really love this category. I think it's still like it still clears with its movement tech, and just like the pacing of it really isn't bad past like the very beginning either.
I mean, I think most of the categories in this game, if I'm, excuse me for yawning, most of the categories in this game, have really poor pacing at the very beginning because of all the cutscenes. Thankfully, the community is cool and likes accessibility, so
Nice.
they allow turbo for text boxes.
That strat was actually like harder than it looks.
Yeah, Ruben just submitted an any percent time a few weeks ago with a 33:53.
Jeez.
So you can actually just use Ignazol to turn an ice orb into fire mode, or like an ice mode orb into a fire mode orb. And when you place it on these pedestals, it activates these fans with either heat or coldness, I guess. And it freezes water if it's cold, and it melts ice if it's hot. And that changes the layout of the room and lets you advance. That is basically the central mechanic of this dungeon.
The thing I will say about the glitchless category for this game is that it is like, I know a lot of people like to give glitchless categories like crap for like being quote unquote boring or dry. This
Not
is
so smart.
not. This is not a boring or dry glitchless category. I think like this category more than any other showcases what the game is really capable of. Without just skipping straight to the end. It shows like everything that like the game has to offer, not just in terms of content, but in terms of movement, and I just feel like the possibilities are endless with like the ecosystem in this game. So like glitchless benefits the most from the ecosystem in terms of like movement, while the glitch categories benefit a lot with the
By the way, we
ecosystem
love
for
this
glitches.
boss.
Is this Slime Eye?
It is
Yeah.
Slime Eye.
This boss is terrible. Like, if this fight goes really well, it's a huge triumph. You know, so far it's not bad. I just got hit though for the first time. God, thanks for letting me hit that thing, guys. Yeah, so basically you have to freeze them and then hit them while they're frozen. You can only hit them while they're frozen.
Oh god, this reminds me
Okay,
of
they're
Bulosis or Bulosis in Luigi's Mansion casually.
Nope. Okay, I need to be careful. Get him, single ice octo. Get him. Get him.
It's getting them!
Get him. Get him.
Get him!
No.
Oh,
Get
no!
him.
Get him!
Get him.
Get him! Get him!
Okay. Good thing I got 6 hearts. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, that fight sucks. I had a really good run die to this boss here the other day.
I
was
remember
like
that.
20 seconds.
I remember
ahead,
that's what
yeah.
made you yell, I need 6 heart containers.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm of the opinion that, like, I personally really like glitchless categories most of the time. I think I've only found one glitchless category a little dry for me. And it's not this game. Like, not by a long shot. Most glitchless categories have great movement, they teach you the fundamentals of the game, and, like, that's how you master the fundamentals of the game. If you go from a glitchless category to a glitch category with, like, the basis of understanding the movement of the game pretty intimately, like, you will excel, like, once you've learned the glitches and the routing for other categories.
I feel like, so I feel like the success that I've had with this game, I can definitely attribute to exactly that.
Wait,
Like,
hold on. Shoutouts to the random YouTube comment that that pointed this out to me in my very first like YouTube upload of this game, and they're like, you know, you could just grab this rock underneath the solid ice and hit the switch that way, and I was like, excuse me?
That was extremely funny. White Wolfos just goes down to 4 sword beams. There we go.
And you were saying
I
about your
moved-
success with this game, by the way?
Sorry to cut you
Yeah,
off on
no,
that one.
that's okay. That's okay. So, like, I started with glitchless, and then it just felt like moving into other categories. Like, I felt so much more like I felt like I really like already had a really good idea of what I was doing moving into those other glitched categories after running glitchless, because like glitchless is all about just movement optimization and like menu optimization. So once I learned how to do the wrong warp effectively and quickly, like I just kind of let that stuff take over, and it felt like it was not nearly as much of an adjustment period as if I had done the other way around. Yep, so order of operations here, we need to make this room to the north of us warm so that it melts these little icicles here coming out from the water. And then we make it cold, and then we roll a snowball across that section of the room so that the button gets depressed.
Button gets depressed, you should tell a joke to cheer it up.
I'm glad I'm not the only person that heard that. I was like, a button getting depressed, huh?
I mean, I'm just saying.
So what joke would you tell this button? Why did
I don't
the
know.
snowball
I'm not
roll
funny,
on
I don't
top of
know.
the button?
I'm only cheesy, I'm not funny.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, when I am funny, it's unintentionally.
I am simply just a dingus.
Aren't we
Oh
all?
my god.
Okay, so Scorchill is another example of, well, any sort of fight in the game that is made a lot easier and quicker with sword beams. And also Wizards.
Yeah,
Those
this
are
is the
very
one I
good too.
said that is gonna go right. Scorchill is gonna be the one boss that goes right. Every other boss has gone wrong in some way. Give us your energy.
But yeah, there are a couple different attacks that Scorchill can do. Hopefully we won't see like any of them, because we can essentially stun lock Scorchill with Wizards. Oh, he's coming to me. All right, glad I realized that. Normally he attacks your Echo there, but you got to be kind of on the lookout for him to attack you. You got to get the heck out of the way. Yeah, the first Wizard of every section too, I'm kind of placing like way away from Scorchill, just to give the Wizard time to attack. What are you doing? You're kinda... Alright, being a jerk. Okay, that's fine though. That is fine. I would have lost 1 heart, I think.
Yep.
By the time I had lost health to lose beams, he was basically already dead, so...
As
We are
as
fine
far
now.
as I'm concerned, that went right.
Yeah, pretty much. Probably the best boss fight I've had this whole run that wasn't Volvagia. I even found a way to mess up Volvagia slightly. That just means Null's gonna be perfect, right?
Surely.
Perfectly chaotic, you mean?
Surely not.
I mean, you have to rely on Link AI.
Yeah, like you do. I think if I get all the explanation on Null out of the way before we actually enter the fight, I might be able to focus enough to have a good Null.
See, but
Maybe.
Jay is also playing on 1.02, where Link's AI IQ went up by 3 points.
A whole 3 points, yeah.
I mean, Link's AI, like most common AI on the internet right now, is slop.
That's giving Link credit. Link in this game is He suffers from massive skill issue-itis.
I think Link is a perfect example of why AI will never take over the Earth.
No, he's gonna be too busy walking into a wall.
You're not wrong. You have to babysit him. He lives
You
on
really
a leash.
do.
You have to put him on a literal leash.
The Link AI is like somebody who has like 900 ping in an online game.
Oh my god, you're right.
God.
Alright, so, we have a lot of cutscene before we do anything else.
We
Right
also
now,
have a lot to talk about too.
Yes. So, the next section that we actually have legitimate control over Zelda during is going to involve us placing the ancient orb onto their pedestals in Eternal Forest in order to open the way forward to get into the ancient something. Why am I forgetting the name of that place? I just know it as Ancient Rift. Ancient,
I'm changing my split names to Ancient something. Doing it as we speak right
God,
now.
What? Oh, Ancient... It's not Ancient Tomb. That's like Oracle of Seasons.
I also say it's what, D6?
All I could think
Yeah.
about is Ancient Sanctum, and I don't know where that's from.
Ancient Ruins. God, why did I blank on Ancient Ruins? I'm tired. Man. Okay,
It
so...
is past your bedtime.
It is. It is. Yes. So the Ancient Ruins, like, we open the way forward to Ancient Ruins. And then we do a very interesting type of Gust Gyro to get all the way across Ancient Ruins without dealing with any of it, except for Echo Zelda. Echo Zelda is a peculiar fight, but it's made a lot easier and faster by the fact that we have sword beams, because she flies in the air, right? Like, she flies completely in the air the whole fight, until you stun her, and then she falls down, and you can actually attack her. So we use beams for that, but to use beams, we have to maintain full health. In order to maintain full health, we need to stop the whole field, the whole arena, from getting flooded with echoes that Echo Zelda spawns. By the way, Echo Zelda is about to happen here in this cutscene. Because Null is basically just like plotting the whole time. You're gathering the sanctions from the goddesses to ambush you as soon as you collect all three of them. You know, that's never happened in a Zelda game before, right?
That and they also need Zelda to access the section like where the prime energy is. Yeah, the Gust Gyro strat that Tej was talking about, like that we do. So we're gonna gain a specific amount of height here, for the first like push of the Gust Gyro, to where like we land on the ground, because the Gust Gyro only gets 3 charges basically. I call them charges. I don't know what we can call them. But it only gets 3 charges, and that's not enough to clear the entire rift. But by walking on the ground after the first gust blast, it effectively resets the Gust Gyro back to 3 charges, which gives us 4 to get across the entire rift.
Yeah, exactly.
Shoutouts to that cat just sleeping the whole time.
Yeah, that cat never wakes up.
Like, slept through the entire Hyrule Castle rift, just like popping in, comes out, still sleeping, is like, yeah, whatever.
So yeah, the Echo Zelda fight. We actually fight in a very specific way. You're gonna see me on each of her cycles. You're gonna see me delay my attack on her to let her spawn exactly 1 echo in each cycle. What that does is that it keeps her from spawning an echo on the second cycle of every phase, which is really nice, because if we can keep it to just 1 echo, well, 1 echo is better than a whole flood of echoes, right? Which is what happens when you don't do it that specific way.
And it's especially nice because I think after phase 1, she starts spawning like Lizalfos and Dark Nuts, and they just crowd around you and just destroy you.
Yeah, the thing I have to watch out for the most is the very last phase, where she can spawn buzz blobs, and if I hit a buzz blob, like with a slash, that's very bad because I lose health. That's happened to me more times than I can count. So I need to be like a little bit further away on the last phase. Every other phase I'm fine for. I just need to like stay away from her on that one phase, or stay away from being directly below her, basically. And then after that, we enter Null's body. We'll talk more about that when we actually get to Null's body. But first, we have to place these ancient orbs, or rather, we're about to get the ancient orb Echo. Right here. And we're going to place 6 of these on the pedestals that are spread throughout the forest. Hopefully I don't miss any of these pedestals.
We actually used to grab
matters,
the
it's just embarrassing.
we actually used to grab the Dark Nut 3 here, but we've long since gotten rid of that just because it only does 7 more damage than Dark Nut 2, and we can spam 2 Dark Nut 2s.
So this one, I actually just recently found out you can do this with the Pathblade. It's like basically the same thing we do on the second pedestal. Except for the longest time, I was like running around.
I
running
tried
around all
jumping
the
that
trees.
tree and I didn't make it, so I just assumed we couldn't.
Really?
Yeah.
The first time I tried it, I got it, and I haven't missed it
Huh.
since.
Oh, well.
Weird. Oh, shoot. I am tired. I'm getting there.
Not too much to go.
Look, as long as I don't fall asleep during Null, I'm fine. That's Link's job.
Would
He's
falling
already
asleep render
asleep.
this game, or render this run null and void?
All right, that's it, everybody. Have a good night.
I need to equip Pathblade as soon as possible after this cutscene ends.
There we go. That is unfortunately the last time we will ever hear General Dex.
There we go. Say hi to the Great Deku Tree, by the way. He's in this game.
All right, welcome to Ocarina of Time.
All of a sudden. So I hope y'all have enjoyed this run so far. There's like, I mean, I've already kind of gone over like a lot of the stuff that we do from here until we enter Null's body. Like we're about to do that really strange Gus Giro trick, or like a strange version of Gus Giro, where we don't gain as much height as we normally would until like after the second gust.
It's like a slight tap down and then you hold up or something like that, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because we want to make sure.
The idea once again is I overmatch my turbo. The idea once again where there's no text, by the way. I don't know why I was even holding turbo. The idea is to gain only a tiny bit of height so that we can refresh the Gustmaster's like gusts. Because yeah, like Ice was saying earlier, we only get 3 per flight, right? So if we land on the ground and specifically let the Gustmaster touch the ground, the Gustmaster then gets an extra gust of height. Or rather, gust period.
Yeah, it essentially just resets its 3 cycle. But also, shout-outs to Prime Energy, aka Prime Gaming, which you could use on the GDQ channel to get all their emotes and ad-free viewing and
Hey,
all that
that's
fun
my
stuff.
job. Yeah, your subs, your Prime Gaming energy subs, your gift subs, and the bits that you do cheer here on the GDQ Twitch channel who help support Games Done Quick Hotfix. Remember, Games Done Quick Hotfix is our year-round content, so if you like our mainline events, you'll like our Hotfix content, where we get to show off categories that aren't always seen on mainline events, like, 3.5-hour runs of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. This is actually Echoes of Wisdom's debut in any showcase or marathon, to my knowledge, because, well, the next longest category is what, all dungeons, and
All
that's
dungeons, yeah.
less than half the
Restricted.
length, or about half the length of this category.
Yeah, well, all dungeons restricted is it's right now it's 2 hours and 20 minutes. But yeah, all dungeons unrestricted is 1:42. Or at least that's what the world record is.
Alright, don't blink, y'all. This is a very cool Gus Giro.
Yeah. Well, you can blink for a minute or two while Try talks, but after that, don't blink.
Yeah, no blinking.
By the way, in case the joke has been missed by people who haven't played this game, the Triforce in this game, for I guess an unknown reason, is called the Prime Energy.
Yeah.
So that's where the Prime jokes are coming from. That's why I said earlier, like, we need Prime Energy to finish this game. So, all right, here we go.
It's a meme, y'all. I understand if it whooshes over the head.
Give
But
me
no,
a second,
seriously,
y'all.
do consider supporting us here at GDQ with bits, or even just being here. But subscribing does really help. It gives you ad-free viewing and lets you get access to our emotes like TGH bed. What? GDQ bed.
TGH bed?
Jay, you need a bed emote now.
No, what I need is to go to bed. That's what I need.
I mean,
I'm very tired.
Sure.
Anyway, pay no attention to the first attempt. That's what that's supposed to look like. So I made it all the way there. So now I'm going to delay my attacks on Zelda very slightly, like about there. So you see how she spawned 1 Echo? That means on this cycle, she's not going to spawn anything. And that is the problematic time of that cycle, where she will spawn just like every Echo possible and be a total nuisance. But if you let just 1 Echo spawn, like, or 2, or 3, or, gonna let these guys chase me a little bit. There we go. But see how she didn't spawn any on the second cycle?
She was trying
That's
to.
exactly what we want. Okay, I forgot what I was talking about earlier, and I'm very lucky that a Buzz Blob didn't spawn there, because I would have been screwed. Decent all-around fight, I guess.
Every time something chases you in this game, I've started to imagine the Sonic 2 drowning, or the classic Sonic drowning music. Especially when the guards are chasing you. Yeah, exactly that, Ice.
Just never forget.
Oh, hey!
Never forget the me pointing out the fox and LAS.
Oh
sphere
yeah, there are
sound.
no blue sphere sound effects in this game, are there?
No,
Right.
thankfully.
I
We'll
just
find
remember
one.
when I first brought it up to Amber and they were like, ice.
No. I'm fighting you. I will fight you.
We'll find one in the files. Just unused.
Unused sound effect. It just says Sonic Blue Sphere.
Oh, what's this sound like? Whew. Okay, so Null's Body upcoming. Few notable rooms in Null's Body. There's the first one where I'm just gonna spawn two Dark Nuts 2s, and let them kind of do the work for me as I circle around the room. And then for the third phase, or for the third like blob that spawns, what I want to do is stand in a very specific spot and let the last blob like circle around me. So there's no real RNG in these rooms at all. Really, just in the game, there's not much RNG to begin with. But
Yeah, the blobs, if you don't get like grabbed by them, they won't spawn echoes, and you can actually just take out the blobs themselves. And we especially want to take out the third blob because it spawns a Lionel.
yeah, that's the most important one. So let me actually summon my... let me actually menu my Dark Nuts. There we go. You can... No, Link, no, do not get in my way, I swear. I swear.
Oh, come hell or high water, he's getting in your way.
Guess I'll just spawn right... What was Link just doing? He was trying to clip out of the room.
Flashbacks to
I could
the
speedrun
D6 door
too.
frame.
Yep. He was trying to do Genie Skip in Dungeon 2 in LAS.
Just get pushed out of the cutscene.
Okay, so next up, well, there's a switch I'm gonna press, or hit rather, with this Path Blade with a distance echo, like that. You gotta stand kind of close to the edge for that. Here now. The way I go about this room is I just use Dark Nut 2 and I go behind the flower, like where the flower is, and I spawn one there and one there. And they basically take care of the room for me. But they take care of at least the flower. But...
Meanwhile, Link is
Meanwhile,
gonna
Link is
struggle.
having a total skill issue on the other side of the room.
Oh, he really is.
Link was trying to get Hinox warped.
Wrong game. Wrong game, Link.
That's all I hear
Oh
when
my god, do not with that music right now.
That's all I hear with
Do not.
LAS. It's that little jingle is embedded into all of our brains from running LAS.
I don't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. No.
I
Okay,
still
this-
remember.
This trick is hard.
I still remember like 2 weeks into like Tej and I trying to figure out a good strat for D7 Hinox Warp. Someone made a clip. I cannot find this clip anymore, but someone made a clip where it's just like Tej talking like really slow, and all you
What?
hear is the D7 music playing, and it just gradually
Yep.
gets louder and louder.
Oh, I know who posted that. That was Ori.
Yep,
And
I remember that too.
And it's like it's just Tej talking about like D7 Hinox Warp, and all you hear is and it just gets louder and louder over time.
I will mute you right now over Discord if you do that again. Just throwing that out there.
You can mute me over Discord, but you can't mute me over OBS.
At least I wouldn't be able to hear you anymore.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, so Null's fight is divided into 3 phases. The first phase is basically he's got 3 arms that you pull, and Link will do a jump spin slash to get rid of. and then 2 intermittent phases in between the 3 main phases that happen, where the arms spawn in the walls and try to attack you. Phase 2 is like an underwater section that's just kind of like the odd one out. Phase 3 is basically a more advanced version of Phase 1.
Yeah, Null will have 5 arms in that phase, and 3 of them are going to have echoes in them. And those echoes are going to be echoes of all the bosses that we have previously fought.
Yep. Okay. So I'm trying to, like, sort of babysit / manipulate Link to do certain things and be in certain spots for when I want. Nice. He walked right into that. Okay, that worked. But yeah, basically the objective is just to, as soon as possible, get these arms outstretched so that you see the white part in the middle. That's how you know they're pulled taut, and that Link can actually, like, beeline... Link basically beelines to them and does, like, a jump slash to break them immediately. Got it. Also, fun fact, on 1.0.2, these arms in the walls spawn at completely different places.
Yeah, than 1.01, because 1.01, the first arm... The first arm that spawns is in, like, the top left.
And there you have Exhibit A of Link just kind of not doing what he's supposed to do there.
We call that
so he jumped with his sword out and just didn't do anything. He just did not. Yeah, but I expected him to do something, so I immediately charged forward, try to grab another arm, and when you do that, bad things happen.
So this is Null 2. This is essentially an auto-scroller. Null has, I think, like 500 health in this phase, but it's essentially faster to just swim all the way to the end of this like room, and then once Null passes like a certain spot, his HP drops down to 1, and we're able to just take it out with 1 echo.
Yeah, like his health is continuously dropping throughout like the progression of this room. But at one point it does reach just 1, and then hitting him with anything will advance the phase.
Yeah, like all these echo spawns are continuously draining his health.
So right there. Oh, no, right there. A little further.
And then this was Null 3.
Yeah.
So we're going to be specifically targeting the back hands here that have the little orbs in them. Those are the Echo Arms. And those are going to control which bosses spawn. Essentially, we want to take out 1 Echo Wall arm and then 1 like regular arm first phase, or like first pull. And then we take out 2 Echo Arms here. Once you take out all 3 of the Echo Arms, Null will stop spawning like the boss phases, and we can just immediately rush this.
Gotta babysit Link.
Okay, that delay might cost me a lot. Yep, okay. Okay. Oh, that was actually cool. He actually did something cool. Alright, nice. Good job, Link. That's legit the coolest thing I've ever seen Link do in this fight, is just like spin slash all those things.
The coolest thing I've ever seen him do was when he got stuck on Null
yep.
trying.
Yeah, actually, you're right. No, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen him do. But
In terms of beneficial cool, not so much, but...
I'm also laughing at the fact that that Ganon Echo just went completely through Link.
I'll get this one. Yeah, so, oh, okay. That was really close to me to the point where I could barely see it. A good thing about having Frog Ring for this fight, by the way, is that I can jump over attacks. From Lizalfos, from... Okay, I had to... Alright. Be quiet there for a second. From Lizalfos, from, like, the Piglins? Is that what they're called?
Either piglins or moblins.
Or no, that's Minecraft. What am I talking about?
I was gonna say Piglins is Minecraft.
That's Minecraft.
You haven't played Minecraft in like 2 years.
I mean, they might as well be called piglins. They're bokoblins. They're like, I don't know, things ending with in.
Moblins?
Yeah, it's like a mix between pig and moblin. Link, come on, please. All right, this run's almost over. Just one last arm to
Yeah.
cut.
Time is coming up when we
And-
yoink the prime energy out of Null here.
Yep. And we're gonna finish underestimate. Actually, I was kind of worried about that. Yeah, about 10 seconds till time. So yeah, here we begin just like kind of a quick time sequence. You have to bind the prime energy inside Null and then mash A until time. Until it gets yoinked out of the body. And that is Echoes of Wisdom Glitchless. I hope you enjoyed the run. This was a lot of fun. I am very tired, and I apologize if my commentary kind of faltered near the end. Really, like, I mean, it probably faltered all throughout, but it's fine. That's like my style, really, with faltered commentary. But anyway, thank you very, very much for watching. Thank you, Ice, for commentating.
Of course.
And thank you, Amber, for hosting and for being a wonderful, wonderful host.
Gonna miss the best line from Try here.
Oh, yeah, right. I mean, I should... Yeah, I'll advance the text.
All right, as we advance the text here, do you have any shout-outs, the two of you, that you'd like to make as we start to wrap things up? And also, thank you both so much for being on tonight. This has been a really chill, very long run, but I had a lot of fun listening to y'all be clowns while we had a lot of downtime. But
Yeah.
go ahead and do your shout-outs.
Shout-outs to the whole Echoes of Wisdom... Excuse me. The whole Echoes of Wisdom community, for real. It's been, like, seriously one of the best speedrunning communities I've been a part of. We've been, like, super, like, you know, pretty close-knit, and, like, it's pretty small, but
Is it this
very,
one right
very,
here?
very dedicated to having this game go as low as it can go in every category. So, yeah, shout-outs to y'all. Shout-out to GDQ for hosting this, for, you know, shout out to Hotfix as well. Year-round GDQ action. Shout outs to Amber as a host. Shout outs to Ice as a commentator and as an amazing friend and runner. And that's about all I got, I think.
But yeah, for me, big shout outs to TGH for taking this game and just bringing it to the level that it's at now. Like the routing and like the timings that he's done and everything that he's done for this game has brought it to like the times that it's at today. Like we started out with like a 5:23 as like the first glitchless time, and now it's like a 3:30. And then same with like all dungeons and unrestricted and restricted. It's just it's been wild to watch. Also, this is like the best line in the game here.
Yeah, shout outs to Try's rather rude words here to Zelda.
After saving all his friends, Try's only words to Zelda is two very rude words here. He just says,
Oh, here we go.
he just says, "Die, Zelda," or "Zelda, die."
Zelda, die.
Oh my god.
But yeah,
German,
shout out,
German is a
do with
beautiful
you?
language.
but yeah, shout outs to the
It's
whole
D.
shout outs to the whole Echoes of Wisdom community. They've put in so much work for this game. Like so, like in the first week, so much like information and data was mined and like documented. Like as far as like boss health, damage like from all echoes, all the like the wrong warp like locations and things like that. Everything was just well documented and like archived for like easy access. And just everybody that's like contributed to like everything. Except for the people who found out Onyx and the other restricted trick. Heck y'all.
Affectionately, and with all
Yeah,
due respect.
affectionately.
with all due respect, heck you. Yes.
But yeah, no, just big shout outs to everybody who's just put in so much work to this game. This is a wonderful game.
Also, follow the two of them on Twitch, twitch.tv/TGH_SR. The SR stands for speedrun, not senior. There is no TGH junior.
That's actually song
And,
request.
Of course
Yeah.
it is.
I thought it was sight
and-
read, like a rhythm game or something.
And shout outs to Ice Blue. Follow them as well at twitch.tv/IceBlue. It's just Ice Blue, right?
Yes.
There's no. I know you got rid of the
No,
X.
I got rid of my X years ago.
All right, well, I think that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you for being here tonight, and please look after yourselves and your loved ones. Drink some water, stretch your legs, eat a snack, and take your medicine or your vitamins if you need to. And remember, you are valid and deserve all the best. The world is a better place with you in it. So stay tuned as we continue our AGDQ 2025 replay after this, and tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern for Do All the Things in Parallel Universe. So I'll see y'all on the other side on April 24th. Oh my god. January 24th, Friday at 4 p.m. Not 4 p.m. What am I saying? At 9 p.m. for more Passion Project with Nico Hart running Undertale using a bicycle as a controller. Good night.